What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Christ is King. Love you guys. Hopefully, you guys like that new opener. Compliments of the chef, my brother-in-law. He's freaking amazing. We've been working a lot behind the scenes. Oh, we got something else new. Hold on. I got to put it on the screen. Where is it at? Ba-bam. There it is. All right. And he's working on other really cool new stuff too. So we got a lot of cool things coming, you guys. It's pretty exciting as the channel continues to grow. So I'm excited for it. And all right, you guys, welcome to another episode of the Black Line Brief. I'm your host, Matthew McKim. Thank you for joining us today. If you guys haven't done so already, please do me a favor and hit the like and the subscribe. It is the best way to help support this channel. And I appreciate it every time you do. All right. Now, all right, if you guys haven't been paying attention today, this weekend was the Chapter Leadership Summit 2026. That is for the chapters, the different chapters in the TPUSA campus, organization. I don't think high schoolers are there. Maybe high schoolers can be there. If you guys remember, Elon Musk wanted to create this app. It's called like the Everything app. They have it in China. It's not a good thing. It looks like that TPUSA is becoming that, but an organization. And literally an organization for every stage in development. It'll be crazy if they ever make one for infants. They make clothes for infants, but they have stuff as it started in colleges. Now it's gone into high schools, middle schools, elementaries. It seems like they have a goal to just dominate every possible age of development and getting people indoctrinated sooner the better, right? Just like the Prussian education system, which we've adopted, kindergarten. Give me a man before the age of 5 or 7 and I can create any man, right? The earlier, the younger, the better. So that's crazy. And they're like, don't worry. If you're out of college, we got something for you too. They got stuff for families, married, not married. They're doing it all. They announced today that they're going to be doing a men's leadership summit, Invictus. We're going to get into that. I thought it was going to be, I want to know how they pay for it because it doesn't cost anything for the individuals doing it. They have to submit an application, and I don't know if it's going to be like a video, like, interview, kind of like you do with The Amazing Race. That'd be interesting. Like Erika did that on the different reality TV shows that she had to go on, and she's implementing that in TPUSA maybe. I don't know. I'll read the flyer about it. We'll get to that when we get to it. But it looks like, it looks like they want to take over the world, one age group at a time. So we are going to look at the full video of Erika Kirk at the Chapter Leadership Summit. It's going to be jam-packed full of energy tonight. I've pre-watched it twice. And each time, the first time, just to get you guys into my process a bit, the first time I do it, I don't watch it. I just listen to the audio. There's things that you can pick up on when you're only using like one of your senses. And so when you listen to the video without watching it, for me, especially as a behavior analyst, I can pay more attention to cadence, her delivery, right? How is she speaking? Is it in tempo or out of tempo for her normal cadence of rhythm? Different affect when she puts, different affect on different parts of her speech. And a lot of weird things stuck out to me just in the listening portion of my prep for tonight. And then we graduated to the video plus audio. And that's a whole new level of craziness that we're going to get into. I also have a video if we get to it. I hope we do, because actually I just got to make sure we get to it because it's Seth Dillon and Jeremy Boring. Man, if anyone could have a last name that really, really fits, maybe if his no, I won't say that. But his last name, it fits. But they talk about the Hamptons retreat. They think, this is what I don't understand. They are some of the dumbest people in the world, like that I've ever met. Because every time they get on camera, Erika included, they think they're doing good. They just keep walking themselves further into the ground. Like, bro, like we didn't know enough because it was like a donor event and it was behind closed doors. So it was in secret. Okay. So Tucker wasn't wrong. Okay. And we couldn't have known anything unless people started spilling the beans from the inside. And then this guy's like, I'll go on a show and we can broadcast it to the world. And then you watch and then they think that they're doing a good job, like giving themselves some sort of alibi, like there wasn't a pressure campaign on Charlie Kirk. And then he just keeps talking. And then I come away from it and going, oh yeah, there was for sure a pressure campaign, Bill Ackman as well. And I mean, so we're going to get to that as well. Jam-packed episode tonight. Buckle up. Let's do this. All right. Let me get to this first one. All right. James Wells, love your podcast. I emailed you a video with a timestamp of Mikey McCoy at the time of the Big Bang. I've not seen it covered before. Check it when you can. Okay. Did you send it? You probably sent it like right before I went live. Once I'm in here, I didn't have a chance, but I'll get to it. Okay. If I don't get it during the show, because the show's already planned, then I'll put it on for the next show or something. Okay. Appreciate it. Let's get into it. Here we go. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
God bless you guys. God bless.
I'm going to try to let this play as much as I can. I promise. Hold on. I have something I want to show you guys. Did she not email it to me? There it is. Yeah, she did. I got to click on it here. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see this. This is Erika's outfit, in my opinion. I thought of Ip Man and Bruce Lee, if you watch the like old school and even the newer ones, the Kung Fu movies. This is what I thought of when I saw Erika Kirk tonight. Ip Man, you know, Erika Kirk. She is trying, you're going to notice, she is going to present herself not feminine. Okay. Tonight she's announcing the Men's Leadership Summit. Okay. Invictus with a lion on it. Rawr, you know, she does not come across in this video at all feminine. Okay. And that's, I think, by design. We know, well, I believe Candace, when Candace was like, she doesn't write her own speeches. I don't think she does. If she does, she's really bad at it and should probably stop. You can reach out to me. I'll help. You probably won't like what I'll write because I'll tell the truth. But I mean, I'll offer my services. Why not? You should stop writing your own stuff or fire your script writer. Your whoever's writing your stuff should be fired. But you're going to see tonight, she's trying to present as if she is like masculine, like she is tough. No femininity here. It's really bizarre. Let's get into it. But I wanted to show you guys, when I see her outfit, I see Bruce Lee. That's what I see.
Love you too.
Sorry. If you were thinking, is this a cult? That entrance into the stage and the cheering for her should have let you know right away. Erika Kirk is the widow cult leader. 100%. You're going to notice that she's going to be using specific language. That's a sub language, right? It's language that's only going to be there. Only people within the group. Within the group, it's a subgroup language, will know what they're talking about. One of the things, let's see, can I do this? Oh, cool. That's cool. All right. One of the things, I got to find out a way to make that black stuff on the other side not all black so that it looks better. one of the things that she's going to say during this, when they get to the campus events that they're talking about, she uses specific language that you don't use this language in the way that she is outside of the group, but the group knows what she's talking about. And so I just want to point that out. I do believe that she is developing somewhat of a cult, okay, and somewhat of a cult-like following, and she would be the fearless leader. And it is a form of, oh man, I hate it when that happens. The word that I want just straight up slipped my mind. Where? Here? Yes, there we go. Nope. What did I do? What did I do? Why isn't it on here? Hold on. Well, that's not what I want because I needed to look. Dude, what did I do? Holy smokes. Where does it normally go? I'll go like this, and then I'm going to put it back on. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, sorry, guys.
Last year when Charlie was on this stage, I have watched that speech, I can't tell you how many times. And I can't tell you how many times my son and daughter have watched that speech. This event is the final.
2-year-olds don't really watch speeches, but I mean, maybe a 4-year-old does, but I doubt it as well. A 3.5-year-old, 2-year-old isn't watching a speech.
Final event that was on my husband's calendar. Throughout this whole time, I have had so many people ask, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Yes, why?
Why are you doing his book tour? Let me tell you something.
Oh, please.
First and foremost, when you have commitments, especially those that your loved one has made, you follow through on them. And it doesn't matter how hard it is, doesn't matter how tough life is. You gave your word.
You didn't give your word. What are you talking about? If Charlie made the commitments, first of all, yeah, freaking A, dude. She wants us to believe that because Charlie had these commitments, like the book tour, that this is her fulfilling her agreement, her covenant as a wife. Actually, I would say the most important thing as your covenant as a wife is when you sat in front of your friends and God and the pastor or priest, whoever married you, and you vowed that you would be the wife and mother of the future children that you have. And I would say above anything else, other people could have gone on that book tour. You did that in November and December. You're already traveling and away from your kids a lot. Maybe you should not add as many things as possible onto the list. Maybe you should prioritize your children over some of these other things. We don't even know if that book is the same book that Charlie was writing. We don't know that if they changed it, edited it, or took things out and added things into it. He wasn't done with it in August. He said that. He was not done yet. It still had to go to post and editing. But so we don't know what that is, okay? She's going to lie to you throughout this video tonight. I also want you to pay attention to something. I'm not trying to be overly critical, but she wants us to accept her in this position, and she's going to continually lie about the history of TPUSA, of Charlie Kirk, of her. When she came into the picture, how much did she help build this machine? She didn't. It was fully built when she came into the picture. I'll be honest with you guys. So, and I think those of you that have followed me long enough, you know that, you know, I grew up in a pretty messed up home. I didn't have a father figure. I made a lot of bad choices growing up as a kid. And then when I was in the Marine Corps and I got injured, and this was back in like 2006, we didn't really know anything about like opioids and painkillers and things like that yet, not to the degree that we did later. And like they were over prescribing, especially within the military, right? And I developed a pretty significant addiction to pain medications and muscle relaxers. But and that lasted for on and off. I struggled with that for many years because I still had like a dozen surgeries. I've had so many surgeries at the age of 30. You guys would be surprised, right? I have like a 13-inch metal rod from my knee down to my ankle and my tibia. I've had 2 back surgeries, hip, nose, hand, head, the gambit, right? But I know I can see things when people are on things that I've experienced personally, okay? Erika, in the New York Times article, which was 8 days after the assassination, she said, I am choosing not to take medication or drink alcohol intentionally so that I can feel everything more deeply. That would imply a couple things: that she drinks on a somewhat regular basis, normally, that she would have to stop it to not be doing it in order to feel the things. If she didn't drink or take medication, there's no need to say that. There's no medication or alcohol even to be drank or taken. But obviously, it speaks to the fact that she does drink, but is choosing not to drink right now during this period to feel things more deeply. Also, the medication component, in my opinion, what I think is that it implies, so the two that I know about, benzodiazepines and opiates, right? They make you not feel things. That's why people with brokenness, whether it's psychological, emotional, or physical, it makes you feel amazing. You don't feel much of anything. And that would be the two classes that I would think, if she's talking about something that she's not taking in order to feel everything more, it would probably be in the benzodiazepines or in the opiate classification. This was back in September that she said she wasn't taking it to feel everything more. I see signs and symptoms of being on one of the two. I'm not sure if it is. This is just my opinion, and I'm not making an accusation. I'm just saying I think that I'm seeing signs and symptoms of possibly being on something. You'll notice it. She slurs a lot tonight. Her cadence and delivery is a little abnormal. She struggles to form words and sentences. A lot of the things she says are incoherent. They don't stay together. I'm not sure, but that's just it's just a hunch. Okay. All right. Let me see. I got a couple to catch up on real quick. I took out my silky black karate outfit to watch this. Yes, I know, right? My wife, when she first saw it, she was like, I think she's wearing silk pajamas. I was like, no, she's wearing Ip Man outfit. She's freaking getting ready for battle. She's going to use military lingo and battle lingo in this speech. And she said she knows about marketing and design. It's a thing, she says. It's a thing. I pay attention to it. It's like a thing. She knows what she wears, what she doesn't wear, how she does her hair, how she doesn't do her hair, her makeup, no makeup, all of that. She's aware of it. I don't think she's making good choices about it, but she's aware of it. So it's not an accident that in this speech, where she says the things that she points out in this speech, that she's wearing that outfit like that. All right. Of course she came out dressed like P. Diddy. Yeah. And then same. Scripts for 90, 80 milligram Oxycontin, 150, 30 milligram oxycodone, 152 milligram Xanax every 2 weeks for 8 years, off almost 10 years. Congratulations. Yes, I've been off since 2018. Yeah, no alcohol, no drugs, no nothing since 2018. And that's a really hard one to kick, the medication, because at least for me, you justify it, right? You're like, wow, a doctor prescribes it. This is legal. You're also, it's really dangerous because you can hide it. You can't smell it. Only other people that really know you and could tell when you're not yourself, or other people that do that kind of thing, can tell. So it's a way to hide it. And it's really, really hard to get off of, especially the benzodiazepines. Those are really hard to get off of. It takes a really long time to get off of it normally, and it really messes with your psyche and your emotions. And so my, advice to people is never even dip your foot in that pool. Stay away from that stuff. It's many good people have lost their lives to it. So, all right, let's get back to it, guys.
And between my husband and I, our word is our bond.
Not yours.
And so when it did come to his last book could have been about finance. I know nothing about finance.
Why are you a CEO? You should know a little bit about finance. You're running this organization. You know nothing. That's a good. So the board of directors did a great job electing you to run an organization. I know there's a CFO, there's a chief financial officer. I get it. But the CEO should at least have some sort of financial competency. Okay. They should at a basic level not know nothing. Like she just said, I know nothing about finance. You should know something. You should. $500 million, probably more now, right? $1 billion company, probably by December. You should know a little bit. You were married to Charlie. I thought he had you looped in to everything. I thought you were going to the office every day with him. He was transmuting his knowledge and experience to you every step of the way. What, he just left out one of the most important parts? You're telling me he told you he wanted you to be CEO and he's like, the finances part, I don't need to tell you that. That's not that important. Give me a break.
But it wasn't. It was about God. It was about his faith. And it was about something that was so intricate to our family dynamic. So what do? Do you let someone else do the book tour? Sure, they could. You could have a pastor do it. We had a few pastors get up on Fox and other places to talk about it. It's fine. Do you wait 2 years and then do the book tour? Sure, I guess. Is it really that relevant? It'll always be relevant, but is it still?
Notice, is it really that relevant? It'll always be relevant. This is the kind of double speak that she engages in throughout this 50-minute speech tonight. She says something, and then in the next sentence, she says something that is like contrary, or I mean, contradicts, or just, it doesn't go with it. It's like, wait, what? Will it still be relevant in 2 years? Will it be relevant? It's always relevant. Oh, okay. Okay, I think we're tracking. Couldn't go on
that commitment schedule that your husband had. So you do the book tour. You go to AmFest. You go to college campuses. You talk to the students. You pop into the chapter meetings. You do the hard thing.
The hard thing.
You do the right thing.
Okay.
And that's what my husband did every single day.
I need to say this, you guys. We need to unify us, all of us. Some of us need, I don't know if they have an age limit, you know. I don't know if these CLS conferences allow adults in there, or like if we would have to accompany our teenage or young adult child, but we need to be in there. We need to know what they're teaching the next generation. We need to know what they're saying in the breakout rooms that aren't being filmed. She's going to say some things throughout this speech that lead me to believe they're doing something. They're doing something when the cameras are off. They're talking about things. They're trying to create an army. She's saying things that leads me to believe we need to know what she and the other people that get on this stage are telling the youth. And it does trouble me deeply that we only get certain clips, right? And here's the other thing, you guys. Today, they uploaded, so a couple things. None of these get streamed live. Okay, number one, all the speakers that were out, at least I don't think they were live. I know hers wasn't live for sure. I'm pretty sure the others weren't live, but they were uploaded immediately. The other speakers got uploaded first. Hers didn't, and they did that strategically, okay? They wanted to create traffic to their different sites. So they clipped really engaging little 1-2 minute clips of her and posted it on different parts of like their social media accounts, knowing that was immediately going to get people to start looking it up. Where is the full video? It's going to route people to their sites, and then it's going to create engagement on those sites, people looking for the full video. Also, the reason why there was such a delay with Erika's speech, in my opinion, is because they wanted to make sure if it didn't go good, they were going to edit pieces out. And I think that they did edit some pieces out. I can't tell. I'd have to look at different. It might have been at some point in it, but they didn't upload hers immediately. They waited so much longer than all the other speakers, and then they finally uploaded it. That was just my point.
Every day. And that's what you guys do every day. You all flew here from across the country. I can take a plane too to be here. After I've been through hell this past week.
Erika. Erika, need I remind you? What was the defense's that attorney that got up there and was like, Erika Kirk is out there talking about the case, talking about the trial, and she had her victim representative lawyer get up there and grandstand and act like he was about to cry. You heard it in his voice. He was like, and then say that everything that the defense lawyer just said was a complete lie. And then you have Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, and all the freaking cronies out there like attacking the lawyer, and, you know, Dana Loesch, all the different ones, and saying that, oh, he was a lawyer for the Menendez brothers, so he's an evil guy. And look at him attack the widow. The widow. He wasn't lying. We played the clip. She went on Barry Weiss, okay, and quoted. We played it. She said, me and the defense, me and the prosecution, us. I've seen it all. I've seen everything. They've shown me everything. And I've seen the autopsy. And you know what? It's him. It all points to Tyler Robinson. And this clip right here, she's going to go much further later. I was like, oh my gosh, you're stupid, or you just know that you're above any type of prosecution. You know, I don't know. How could just a couple days ago she get called out for this? She's also going to attack the courtroom. You know, okay, I'll just play it. We'll get there when we get there. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, it's not easy. It's not easy. Life is not easy. Charlie would say, and those in our inner circle knew this. Some of you know this too. How many of you have gone through hell these past 10 months? Raise your hand. Yep. How many of you had your life change in a negative way in the past 10 months? Raise your hand.
Yep.
Yep. Same. You're in good company.
Good company.
But what did Charlie say? He would say, life has suffering, and it does, and it sucks.
So she says, okay, why can't you just speak for Erika Kirk at this point? Seth Dillon, in the part that we're going to get to when we get to it later, is going to attack anyone else besides the chosen elect, the elect. They're allowed to speak on behalf of Charlie. They're allowed to regurgitate. I think that they're taking a lot of creative license and just making things up. They're always going to say like, oh, he said this to his inner circle. He said this backstage. He said this to a few of us. Those of us that would know, how would we know? We wouldn't be able to tell. And they're going to tell us things that Charlie said. Why can't Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, and you just speak for yourself now? Why can't you just say, I'm saying this? Charlie, if he said it, play the freaking video. Let him speak for himself. We don't trust you anymore. We don't know that anything you say that he said is anything he actually ever said. So it just, okay. Husa.
But you choose the people that you have along the side while you're going through that suffering. You choose those people. And all of you in this room.
Why are they all standing? That's weird. That's another cult-like behavior. They have chairs. She came in. They all stood up and applauded as if someone stage left or stage right held up a big sign, and it's like stand up and applause. And then they're like, Erika, the widow, yay. And then like everyone goes to sit down, and then the other person, he flipped over the card and it's like, stay standing. I don't know. Like, you don't stand for a 50-minute speech. Holy smokes. It's like they're robots already. They're just standing, listening to the speech. Sit down. If I was the speaker, even if I'm Erika, I'm going to be like, you guys can take a seat now. We're going to be here for a minute. Get comfortable. Take a seat. She's like, no, I'm going to let him stay standing for 50 minutes.
are those people who I am so proud to have in my army as I go through this battle against Satan.
Okay, so army, battle, Satan. What is she talking about? She was just talking about where she was and what she was going through in regards to the Tyler Robinson trial, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, where she's already prematurely convicted and assigned a guilty verdict on this young man, and she's now saying that she's wanting to enlist all of these kids into this army for this battle against Satan. And notice what she's going to do a lot of really, really nasty linguistic and like psychological twists with language and things that she say. So anyone that stands against them, and they're representing Christianity, right? She's a Christian. All the kids in the audience, I mean, there might be non-Christians there that they were there to like get intel, maybe, I don't know. But the majority of them are going to be Christian, right? So anyone that stands up in opposition to her, right, that doesn't believe the official narrative, that questions the official narrative, is on the side of Satan. So you're either with us or you're against us. That's what she's saying. Join this army, fight this battle with us, with God, with Charlie, or you're against us and you're with Satan. Two options. That's it. Black or white.
So when's a good time to give up, right?
Never.
Never. So you have the internet coming after you. You have them slandering your name. You have them saying all this trash about you. And what do? You wake up that next morning, you put on the armor of God and you keep going. That's what you do.
Armor of God. So, okay, this is what I mean. She's been practicing this speech. Whoever wrote the speech and gave it to her is like, you're coming out hot. You're speaking to young college students. We're going to be announcing the Men's Leadership Summit for the first time, and it's going to be Invictus. So you need to bring the energy. You need to bring the intensity. You need to show that you're fighting. You need to show that you're strong, masculine even. Charlie would want you to like operate within your capacity, within your role. Now she is fully in a pantsuit, in a martial art pantsuit that she's in, is out there actually acting a lot more masculine than feminine. And to me, anyone espousing traditional gender roles, like this is just like, what are we watching? But it's by design. They told her to keep the tempo up, keep the intensity up. Notice how she's talking in a certain way, her look, her everything. It's because she's coming out and she wants to put on this image of fighting and strength, and she's going to be using language that whole time.
And not only that, you don't just do it for yourself. You do it for your future. You do it for your kids, and you do it for your family, because people are watching you and they would love to see you fall. They would love to see the world break you. They would love it. So when I was sitting with you guys before coming on stage, there was some of you for high school that I sat with, some of you for college that I sat with. And you guys had a lot of great questions. Some of them I'll talk about, but you had great questions.
Great.
And again, you don't give up today, you don't give up tomorrow. We are on enemy-occupied territory, and the devil would love nothing more than to be in the middle of your head, to dictate your fear, to dictate whether or not you continue forward having a chapter, to dictate if you're scared. When you have someone you love no longer with you, you look at this world way differently, way differently. My focus and my fixation is heaven forward. I do not care what this world tries to do to me to break me, because it won't. Every single day that I wake up, I make sure that the Holy Spirit has room within me, less of me, more of it, so that God can use me. So that God can use me in ways that he needs to. My husband stood on stage, and a lot of you know this. He stood on stage at AmFest and he surrendered without you guys knowing, but I knew because I was his wife. he stood on that stage and he surrendered and he said, "Here I am, Lord, use me." And my God, did he.
You guys, we're not even to a year. We're not even to a year. This has been the Erika from the beginning. Like, she hasn't gone through a process of grief, like struggling with the weight of this and working through to this place of acceptance of what happened. How is she able to be up here, not even a year, talking about Amfest, the last time Charlie was at Amfest, which is going to make her imagine that event, and that Charlie said, "God, use me," right? Here I am, use me. She's mentioned that before. The last time he said that, she actually was like, those around Charlie, right? Like the Mikey McCoys and Andrew Colvin, Blake Neff, said when she said this, right, that she was like troubled by it, because she knew that when Charlie said that to God, that God was going to take that and go all the way with it. It was the last time I remember saying it, it was like she was scared that he said that, because what they're also saying is that Charlie's death was God's design. And that if Charlie had a choice to come back, to be a father, to be the husband, to be back here, he wouldn't do it. Okay. And that this was God's divine plan for Charlie. And that it actually was the culmination of him saying, "God, use me." The ultimate sacrifice, a martyr. Use my death for the gospel. She knows that she said that before. It just blows my mind. I mean, the things that she continues to do and say. Let me get through some of these real quick. The book could be about being a present parent. I know nothing about being a present parent. Gosh, I love you guys. That's hilarious. Yeah. Her constant need to disassociate from Charlie and used phrases like "my husband," etc., is telling. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if that's kind of like a sign of maybe some like Mortal Kombat Ultra stuff going on. Because part of the MK, you know what I mean, is about disassociation, right? Causing trauma, which causes people to dissociate from themselves, their identity, their ego, and create like a split personality that they use to cope with that trauma that the other version, the other part of themselves experienced. And when that happens multiple times, sometimes the people can't control when they go in and out. But yeah, I definitely notice that she disassociates a lot, especially with language that she uses. Erika knows nothing about a lot of things, but she's learning more and more about psyops and cult practices every day. Yeah. She should write a book. She should write her own book, and it should be on how to run a psyop and create a cult, cult leaders. Hi, Matt. Charlie said, "Here I am, send me, not use me." Yeah. Okay. I mean, the same, I think, I'm still saying that him saying that, she referenced that as God's now going, like, don't ask God to send you or use you, because he might do it, but he might do it in a way that you don't expect or a way that you don't want. And now you're going to have to follow through with it. And the ultimate way of using someone is using someone's life and death ultimately to, like they said, have the biggest revival in the history of mankind, right? Is what they quote about the memorial service.
And what's so interesting about all of this is you have people who understand marriage, and then you have people who don't.
Says someone that was married for 3 years. 13 years.
You have people who are in happy marriages and you have people who aren't. And you can tell it very clearly, whether it's them on the internet, whether it's them in front of your face. Let me tell you something about marriage. When you find the one that God has made for you, whether that's your husband or your wife, you will be so in lockstep with one another that there is no daylight or separation between you guys. You guys are building together as one. Some people think that Ephesians 5 it's probably one of the top 10 most confused passages in the Bible. Marriage is a beautiful covenant between a man and a woman.
Okay, a couple things that I noticed. So her keeping her hand in her pocket the entire time is also part of this image that she's trying to create, like it's a strong masculine thing to do, to have like your hand in your pocket like that as you're chilling and talking. It's kind of showing that she's relaxed, she's laid back, but that she's like serious, right? And she's like pacing back and forth. Also, notice she's doing a lot of like swallowing. I don't know if there's over salivation or under salivation going on in her mouth. And like I said, you're going to hear the different cadence in her speech that's abnormal, in my opinion. What was the other part? It was just about marriage. Man, I lost it. Dang it.
And it is something that...
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Do you guys, I want to poll the audience, I guess. Let me do a poll real quick. Let's see. Do you guys, how to phrase it? Talking about like predestination. Like, do you guys believe in free will, like total free will, or that like God predestines things for us? And I don't know if I spelt that right. Predestines. I think so. Hopefully it's not saying autocorrect. So, and you can't have it both ways, right? In my opinion, personally, I do not believe God predestines, because that would also that would put a hamstring on free will, in my opinion. And free will ultimately is what we point to when we say why evil exists, right? Because people are given the choice, but it's also why good exists, right? And we have an ultimate evil being and an ultimate good being, and people choose which way to go in that spectrum. But so she's referencing that God makes our spouses a specific one person, that he predestines one specific person for everyone. That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight to say, like, I better find that one person. There's this one person God has made out there specifically for marriage. That's pretty intense. I don't believe that. You know, I believe that, I don't believe that. I don't believe that God predestines that, okay? Because I believe that that puts a limit on our free will, okay?
And it is something that, and I pray none of you have to experience this, but when your spouse goes to heaven, you have made that covenant on the altar with the Lord, that if something happened to them, God steps in and fills that void. And he fills it in a way that you cannot ever explain it to someone with words from this world. But when you think about marriage, and women, I want you to understand this. Submission is not a dirty word when you have married a man of God who understands his role as a husband.
She says that all the time.
It is not. And so why am I here?
Why are you here, Erika?
Why am I here? My husband built this movement.
Yes, he did.
He built this machine.
Yes, he did.
And I watched him do it.
No, you did not. No, you did not. Okay. So a couple things real quick. We have 966 people here. Can those of you that haven't done so yet, can you just do me a favor and hit the like and the subscribe? It is the best way. Where's my finger? There it is. It's the best way to help support this channel. I appreciate it. I try not to do that too much, but it's one of the things you got to do when you have these channels, because it's the best and sure way to help support. Okay. She was not there for the building part. Okay. She came into the picture in 2018, and then they dated for like a year or two. They got engaged, and then they were married in 2021. Okay. At that point, before marriage, okay, she's not living with him. Okay. Yes, she traveled with him a lot. Okay. But she did not watch him build this machine. The machine was fully built by 2018 when she showed up. She took no part in it. She did not witness it. I think when she came into the picture, she infiltrated what was built and changed it dramatically. And it's never been the same ever since. And then Charlie being taken out of this earth and out of this life was like a final stage to that plan, because ever since September 10th, and that's the other thing that's going to be weird, she's going to now, as we talk about 9/11, right? We say 9/11 and everyone knows what we're talking about. We say that date and everyone knows what we're talking about. She's now going to today talk about 9/10, 9/10, 9/10. This is another part of, I think, I don't know, the psyop of this campaign. That's going to be this repetition, and it does something to you. I felt something inside of me when she said 9/10 like that. I didn't like it. But she wasn't there. She wasn't there for the building of this organization.
And I stood by his side.
No, you didn't.
Through every sleepless night.
Nope.
Through every moment of concern, through every phone call.
She's saying every. From the beginning, she's saying every. She's not saying like once I came into the, like, she is not honest. She's not even attempting to be honest. And I'm not mincing over little semantics. This is for real. Like, she's just being dishonest and deceptive. Okay. Charlie said when he started the organization, he's glad he wasn't married and didn't have kids. If he had his wife and kids now and didn't have the organization, he wouldn't have been able to start it because of all of the sleepless nights and all of the energy and the time and work it took in those early years. What she's referencing was not part of his life when she came into the picture. Okay, yes, did he still have sleepless nights? Yes. Yes, did he still struggle with things? Yes. Like he did in the beginning? No. By his own account, no. Things were different when she came into the picture, and that's why he said he was able to give her that commitment and to become a husband and father.
Through every high, through every low, the things he could control and the things he couldn't, I was there.
Nope.
I was his vault. I was his confidant. I was his.
Yeah. I can't stand the level of manipulation and deception that she's engaging in. Most of these kids, their frontal lobes are not fully formed. Okay. Logic and reasoning hasn't set in yet. 20 or 25 years old is about when your frontal lobe is finished fully forming logic and reason. Okay. Their ability to judge, not in a negative way, but just to be able to ascertain, to discern whether she is deceiving them, manipulating them or not. Their ability to do that is not great right now. Okay. It's just not. And what she's saying and doing on the stage is just, I think it's just wrong. And that's why I think we need to make sure that we have people that are inside of these events to know what they're saying and doing with these kids when we're not around.
And what's so special about that, and you'll realize this, if you think about it, marriage, when done properly, when not rushed, and when you find the right person, it's not painful. It's not hindering. Women, you let your husband do what God has called him to do, and you support him because you are the guardian of the home.
Who's the guardian of your home now?
Men, you love your wife like Christ loves the church. And And when
Notice that the crying part of the speech is done. She tossed the handkerchief down. Now she's going to be like, now we're getting into it. The crying part, that one part that we're done. Now we're gloves off. Let's go.
you see and you have that covenant, you have to think of it, thinking of like a worldly way to explain it, but to me, think of it as
why would you need a worldly way to explain it to a bunch of Christians in the audience? Why not just explain it in a normal way that a bunch of Christian college age kids would understand?
Cathedral.
Oh, and this is horrible.
Let's say
This is so bad.
you're in Paris.
Why Paris?
And you see the most beautiful
out of all the places that she could have chose, she chose France. I found that interesting because France is tied into a lot of the stuff with Jeffy Epi, a lot of the stuff tied into some of this and the assassination of Charlie Kirk that we believe. Okay. The analogy that she's going to give about this cathedral is going to be ridiculous. And that's why, I think she may ad lib. I don't know that this is in the script. If someone else writes her script for her speeches, and she just goes off script a lot, because this is literally the dumbest analogy I've ever heard. You'll see.
Cathedral with these stained glass windows. The cathedral is your husband.
Okay.
Strong on the outside, looking at it. It's beautiful. It's strong. Holds the weight of the entire cathedral.
Yes, the cathedral itself holds the weight of the cathedral. Check. Okay.
But those stained glass windows are the wife. And if you remove the frame of the cathedral, those stained glass windows shatter. They're useless. And if you have the cathedral without the stained glass windows, what is it? Just an empty thing of concrete?
No, it's still a cathedral, milady. There is some churches that don't have stained glass windows. They're still a church. People still gather in them and worship God. The stained glass windows don't make or break the cathedral. Just saying, it's not just a building without the stained glass windows. It's still God's church.
Sure, it still serves its purpose, but it's not complete. So it goes hand in hand. One is not a weaker vessel than the other, and you build together. And so again, I have seen my husband build this.
No, you didn't.
And he has entrusted it to all of us. My daughter will be in Club America in 10 years.
This is gross. I want to say something. As we zoom in. All right. Her and Jeffy Epi, all right, when they do a no teeth smile, okay, if you were to do a side by side, it is creepy identical. Okay. I point that out to be like that whatever demonic spirit that was in him might also be in her. And that's just an observation. It's just an opinion. But when I see her say things and then she does this no teeth grin, I always see that stinking nasty dude's no grin. It's like the exact same thing. And it's really creepy. It's really weird. It's evil.
And something I loved was that when Charlie built this,
and you weren't there,
the most important thing about this organization is our students. It's all of you. And let me tell you why. Sure, we put on great events. We do.
We do.
But my children are going to be looking at every single one of you as they grow up, because you are an extension of my husband. You will never replace him. He's irreplaceable. But you're an extension of him to them. And you will be able to show them how to chart the path. Some of you asked, how do I be courageous on campus?
That was one of the most psychologically, emotionally, spiritually manipulative things that she has said thus far in this speech. These college students, everyone that loved, Charlie Kirk and it wanted to be involved in TPUSA, watched him, supported him, It was because it was Charlie. Now she's saying a literal living part of him, right? Which are the kids. The kids have his DNA. She doesn't. They are a literal living piece of him. She's saying that a part of Charlie will be able to look up to you, and that you are this representation or model or role model, father figure, because she said it, my kids will look up to you and see Charlie. Okay. I can't explain to you how I felt the first time I heard that I don't understand how people can't see the level of manipulation that they're engaging in when they say things like that to a bunch of college students. And that's why I do not at all feel bad for pointing things out about her, this organization, and the people that are working for her. Because I can't see that any other way than just really evil. Just really, really evil to manipulate someone that way, because now she has them. She's got them right where she wants them. Now she can get them to do anything.
You show up every day. That's step one. Charlie would say it doesn't take talent to be courageous. I agree with that, but it takes consistency. And it's a muscle. You show up and you fight.
Fight.
Metaphorically, but hear me out.
Hear her out.
This past week, I have seen something I'm still trying to unpack and put into words.
What is she talking about, ladies and gentlemen? What happened last week? So she knows everybody watched the prelim last week. Everybody. I bet if we found out the stats on it, it'd be insane because people all over the world were watching it. She knows exactly what she's talking about. She doesn't need to say it directly, but by saying this last week. And then she said, when she's talking about seeing something, viewing something, she's also referencing, in my opinion, the video that was played on Friday. Okay. She's not supposed to be talking about the trial, evidence, or anything like that. At least by the own words of her lawyer, she hasn't, supposedly. She's not done any of that. Okay. She's referencing it here. She's going to go into more detail. All right. But she's got secret knowledge, right? She got to see the video. None of us did. It's so evil. She's trying to unpack it still today.
And someone asked me, do you still want to go to the chapter leadership summit?
Who was that?
And I sat there and I thought, I already knew my answer, but I just thought about it.
Do you guys do that? Do you guys think about things when you already know the answer? They asked if I still wanted to go. I already knew the answer, but I was just like, what the heck? I'll just think about it anyway. So that person thinks I'm thinking about it. But I already knew my answer.
I like to internalize things, sometimes too much.
We all do. Oh, there it is.
And I thought to myself,
The handkerchief.
You know, if you don't fight for what's right,
Fight. She wants us to fight.
I would much rather our country look like this room than the inside of that courtroom.
What's weird about that is the courtroom was just comprised of citizens, mainly. It's just other Americans that were in there, like the judge, the lawyers. I mean, yes, Tyler was in there, but everyone else. So except one. So just one person in there, I guess, in her mind could be the one that doesn't fit, a good person. Right. But other than that, what was really bad about the people inside? She's not talking about the building. She's not talking about, the ambiance or the aesthetic of inside the courtroom. She's talking about the people. She's saying, she's looking at the audience and she's saying, I would much rather, the world look like everyone in here, the people, than the people that were inside of the courtroom. Okay. This just people. They loved it. They're still standing the whole time. "15 minutes."
So that means having hard conversations.
She said having card conversations. This is what I mean. I haven't pointed it out each time because I'd have to pause it too many times. Hopefully you guys have noticed the different times that she's said things that just, she's having difficulty pronouncing things.
That means when you're tabling, if your table keeps getting destroyed, become a roving table yourself and go talk to people. Go sit with people at lunch you don't normally sit with. Be creative with the ways that you are a chapter leader, because you are a leader, you are not a follower. So you have a heavier weight and burden on your shoulders, but I swear every morning when you wake up, if you need that courage, you say to yourself out loud, God, do not give me any less of a burden on my shoulders, just give me stronger shoulders. And I swear every time you pray that prayer, your shoulders will be set back even further and you will have a heavy load, but you will be able to stand and you will be able to walk in ways that people can only describe it as the Holy Spirit.
Did you guys hear the word that she used? Tabling, right? So that's another, like subgroup language that they're using. We don't use that term in society anywhere else. Tabling. That's what they call it when they go out on campus. They pop up a table, they have their flyers, and they're engaging with other students in debate, whatever they do at the table. They're calling it tabling. That's just one example of one of the ways that I see that they have like subgroup language that only people in the group really know. I know because I'm following all this, just so you guys know. All right. I just think she should got him properly is all. I just think she should got him properly is all. I don't know what that means. Look at the face. She's demonic. Misery is apparent. I think she's enjoying herself. I don't know that she's miserable inside. She seems to revel in all this, in my opinion. Yeah. Quote, not got. Sorry. Thanks for all that you do, Matt. Oh, okay. I just think she should quote him properly is all. Yes. Okay. From earlier, send me, not use me. I agree. That's another danger that they, every time that they say Charlie said something, they could avoid any issue by just playing Charlie. Just let him speak for himself. Okay. If you have it, just play it. And if you don't have it, then shut up. Or I guess if you're not going to shut up, then just quote him properly. Literally the final boss of slept my way to the top. Yeah. Yep. Mystic, thank you so much for the 5 Blackline Brief gifted memberships. All right, let's continue.
I want you guys to take the time as you go into this fall semester and be creative. All of you are brilliant in your own way, and all of you bring a different piece to the puzzle of Turning Point USA. And I want you to think outside of the 4 walls of your school and outside of the 4 walls of your chapter member group and outside of the meeting that you have. We, again, put on great events. We put on big events. All of that is very important, but you cannot forget the grassroots movement that this organization was founded on. And so when you guys go out and talk to people and you have chapter meetings and you're saying, hey, it's spring, summertime, people are checking out. People will always check out. Control what you can control, and that is yourself And that is also being able to control and make environments for people that create memories, that have that grassroots impact. Go do something in the community. Go make a difference. There are so many other organizations out there, whether that's soup kitchens or you know them better than I do in your community and you know the need. Go fulfill it. Find something or someone that you can help serve and use your chapter to make that community area that you have better than how you found it. And
you guys know, like I think it's like Disney movies where they have like a woman like reading like tarot cards, or like she's got her crystal ball, right? And she's just like, I'll tell you, my pretty. They always have like, they're adorned in jewelry and like bracelets. And like, that's what I see when I see Erika with all of her bling bling bling, right? I see her like, no, come tell me, I'll read your future. I don't know. It was bothering me.
Be able to do that, and I just want to encourage you as you go into the semester.
You're still standing.
I know that some of you do know this, but some of you do not, because some of you might be new and post 9/10. This organization is not a flash in the pan. We are not 2 years old. We are 14 years old. 14 years.
You are 8. You got here in 2018.
My husband had a vision for this organization that he entrusted into me, and I know that very well. We will never be able to replace my husband, and that will never be the intention.
Do you guys actually believe that Charlie entrusted this organization to her? She cannot pass up an opportunity in front of these kids to remind them about this succession, order that Charlie gave to those at TPUSA and gave to her. Right. I appoint Erika as CEO. The board will make the right decision. Erika would do a great job. It's just an utter lie. Like, if it were true, you guys, like, they would have released that video before they said anything. They just would have released the video unedited, in full, the whole speech, right? If there's nothing to hide and they're about transparency and they want us to believe them, they would have released the video that they swear exists. We knew because they were referencing it so many times that it existed. They waited on it. They waited. And when they finally released it, they gave us a chopped up, edited, cut, AI manipulated version with music, with other things overlaid and video and then photos in between. We didn't even get that 1 30-second or 10-second, 15-second portion of him saying whatever they said he said, which he didn't say. We didn't even get that part by itself. They even spliced and cut up that part because they shoved in a photo of them together in between. Manipulation.
He is one of one and a true legend among legends.
Charlie's a legend. The language is insane. A true legend among legends. I agree that Charlie is a legend, but just to hear her say that like that is just crazy.
But what he did leave us was the blueprint.
Oh, yeah. You got the journal.
He left us the blueprint to follow.
Yeah.
And so for those of you who do know about Turning Point, this will be a reminder for those of you who don't. We are a big tent, not that big, but big. And we are able to have a lot of programs within our organization that many don't. One of our programs could be a nonprofit in itself.
Oh, I bet.
There is so much more to us than just our chapters, but our chapters are one of the top most important portions of the organization.
Oh, that's interesting. My wife's getting good at this stuff, you guys. Yeah, I didn't think about that. What woman was there for the building part of this organization? Who was present when this organization was nothing really yet? I mean, it was something, but not like what it came to be through the partnership of these two people, one male, Charlie Kirk, and one female. Who is that person? Literally Candace Owens. Candace Owens is the woman that helped Charlie build this organization into what it was when Erika came and kicked her out the door with creating a manufactured crisis on behalf of, the Horowitz Foundation or Ben Shapiro, right? People clipping her out of context when she was over in the UK with Charlie when she met her husband George, and they made her out to be some sort of, Nazi sympathizer, anti-Semite for talking about Hitler's aspirations were not just nationalism. He had grander global aspirations. Okay. And they ruined her. And it was temporarily, right? To the point where it was bringing so much flack on Charlie. She had to make the decision that she didn't want TPUSA and Charlie to be destroyed because of her presence. And she made a difficult decision about an offer that ended up paying more. And it was like a sweetheart deal that seemed to be the perfect thing, that it killed two birds with one stone. It allowed her to exit TPUSA, so no more flack came to Charlie, no more, difficulty in their friendship and relationship. And also she got this amazing offer to go work somewhere else and get paid really well and better hours, because now she's going to be married and now she's going to have kids. Wow, that worked out crazy. And then while she's not working with TPUSA anymore, whether that be, I don't know the exact timeline when this other thing happened, if she was at the Daily Wire or if she was independent when this thing happened, she was notified that Charlie went to go meet with a donor in Florida. She was told, and she believes that that was intentional, okay? And that she goes down and she actually confronts Charlie in passing in an elevator. And Charlie supposedly lied to her because he was caught off guard. And I think he knew there must have been something wrong with this donor and the possible relationship that was going to come from this donor giving Charlie and TPUSA money. And he lied to Candace, and that made them split. And that was the perfect thing to get Candace completely out of the organization and away from Charlie. And they really could ramp up their manipulation control on Charlie. Because when you, like, Colts do this, right? They isolate you. They want to get you away from anyone and anything that could give you a dissenting idea, that could help you in the event that they ever realize, holy smokes, I'm in a cult. These people are controlling me. Well, if they're isolated, they don't have a way to get out. But if they have a lifeline, if they have a life jacket, or, what is that thing that it's the circle people throw out? You're out in the middle of the ocean, a lifesaver. I think it's called a lifesaver, right? Now one of his biggest lifesavers is gone. I think that was by design. But Candace was the one that was there to help build this organization into what it was. Erika came after the fact and then got Candace out the way.
So all of you do know about NFP, our field program, and all of that. And when I walked into the room, and I've shared this with some of you, when I walked into the room when we were starting to get back on our feet after everything that happened in 9/10.
There it is, 9/10.
Our team was talking about the things that we're going to be building as we move forward through the pain. And here's the difference, is that there are people out there where pain and grief will break you.
Not you, though.
But all of you in this room are very similar to me.
How do you know that?
The DNA is very similar.
That's weird. How do you know their DNA? You don't. You don't.
Turn your grief into purpose, because anyone can sit in a corner and cry. Anyone can just say, poor me. Why me? Why this? Anyone can say that. But it's what you do with that pain and that grief that is the most important thing that will outlive you.
What did you do at the White House Correspondents' Center? Like, I just want to go home. But you're not a victim, right? Yeah, you're not a victim. Stop. Just stop. Right? Having people out there attacking Candace and Tucker on your behalf. Yeah, you're not a victim, right? The other thing, by saying, like, we're the same, you and me, we're just the same, you and me, right? She uses language like family, right? She wants people in the crowd to identify with her, right?
And so as we were sitting in that conference room and we were going through the commitments Charlie had and the vision that we had, we left room for God to do
the vision that Charlie had, the vision that we had. That's subtle, but it's intentional, right? The same, she's saying like what Charlie's vision is what her vision is now, which we know it's not. Okay. She would have endorsed JT Massey. Okay.
what he does best and write in some new things that we didn't even have planned.
Oh, I bet some new things that Charlie didn't have planned. I bet.
And when I walked into that room, I didn't go, Andrew Cipher, who are you?
So weird.
I knew him.
She knew him.
I knew him very well and his family.
Oh.
I didn't look at our COO, Justin, and was like, all right, I need to step back and we need to reassess these processes. Don't do that event. I don't even know what this is. Don't do it. No. I said, you all know what you need to be doing. Full steam ahead. You have your marching orders.
Marching orders, right? So she wants people, like she knew, just like at that educational academy thing that she did, like I know Huts. I've known Huts forever. Charlie had me in the office every day. He was, teaching me everything. I knew everybody. I knew their last names. I know their family. I know everything about them. Yeah. And then she'll say marching orders. Everything in the language that she uses in this speech is deliberate.
And we are going to get through this and we are going to make Charlie so damn proud.
You better do what we say. The plans that Charlie didn't have, these new plans that we just created, right? You better do them. Charlie's going to be proud. We're doing this for Charlie. Yeah. His legacy, your voice. Look at that.
So for those of you who do know and don't know, let this be a reminder of what we do. I want to give you a brief overview.
Let's get it.
We have the field program that you all are a part of. We are doing some amazing new things. Within our grief, we pulled off one of the most incredible halftime shows this country has ever seen.
You guys saw that, right? It was like the worst halftime show that we ever saw. Okay, no, the real one that played, that was the worst one. The other one wasn't great either. Let me get to this real quick. Any other parents literally feel sick and protective over these kids she is talking to. I know, like, get the heck out of here, away from them, especially using God for her agenda. It's sickening. I think her kids and feel, I think of her kids. Yeah, me too. And feel sad for them. One thing I was thinking about, because she says, she said it already, or she's going to say it, that her daughter is going to be like involved in the organization in 10 years. What's sad for me is they're going to be a product of her. They're not going to have anything of Charlie. So she was 3.5. Gigi was 3.5 when Charlie was killed. Mac was 1.5. She may have some distant memories. There may have been, I pray that parts of him were like imbued in them. Because the other outcome, the other possibility is that this woman is going to have the majority of the effect and impact into the adults they become. Their heart, their mind, their words, their decisions. It's going to be so much more Erika than Charlie. And it's like she's paving the way for them to be next in the succession order, which I think people would probably love, right? If it were done the right way, if she had come out and done everything the right way, stayed home, raised them, let someone else run the organization, and if she would have been in keeping with the promises, commitment to Charlie, as we all knew, because they said it all the time, then there could have been a chance that they would have grown up and been shaped and molded with parts of him. I think, though, I think time will tell, but she's not even raising them. She's not even there. And when she is, it's going to be her, the dishonest, manipulative, gaslighting Erika Kirk, in my opinion. And if we need to do anything, we need to pray a lot for those kids, for their hearts, for their minds, for their futures, because it's all without Charlie, without his input, without his heart, without his presence. And yeah, it's just sad. It makes me really sad. Thank you, Brittany. I don't know. Did you try to write something and didn't let you? Oh, here we go. Watching them stand this whole time is painful. Isn't it weird? It's almost like someone gave them a order to stand the whole time. You don't do that. You don't choose to stand for an hour during a speech. Some people have been getting tired. And so there's been a couple people you could see in the audience that are like, why are we all standing? And they sat down. Yeah, majority are standing though.
We've expanded our TPUSA Faith Church Network to 12,000 churches. 12,000. We've launched a new program, even aside from the new program we had of Make Heaven Crowded that's been touring around this country. It's been amazing, by the way.
That event is evil. Make Heaven Crowded, partnering with Greg Laurie, okay, who has not just allegations, but people that he had at the orphanage in Romania actually did real stuff, and it was real, okay? It's not just allegations, really happened. And these other pastors that she's partnered with are allowing them to use the superfeed technology to geofence, geotrack, and send propaganda, track their phones. That whole campaign and those events are not good. Any event, actually. I bet it's going to happen to all these kids. They're all going to start getting pro-Israel, anti-Palestine propaganda sent to their phone. And that technology is now going to be on their phones.
We've also launched within TPUSA Faith a program that is a little bit more covert.
Oh, covert.
Being able to go into the darkest portions spiritually within our country.
What?
Covertly. Spread the gospel in those neighborhoods for those people who need to hear the gospel, and do it in a way where you don't need the branding, you don't need the credit, but you're doing God's work.
Why is she being intentionally vague? Why didn't she say what it is? Why is she saying covert and then not actually telling anyone what this program is called, what it is? I found that to be weird.
And you are mixing and shaking up that culture in a way they would have never expected. But that's good.
Oh.
Go where you can have the conversation. That's what Charlie would do, no matter how uncomfortable. Even if you only agree on 5%, that's better than 0. So if you have a chance, find the churches in your area that are a part of the TPUSA Faith Network, because those pastors and those congregants can come to your chapter, can lead Bible study, can pour into the young men. It's special. We have a huge network. For those of you who are graduating high school, we have something called Prep Year. Prep Year is great. Prep Year falls under Turning Point Education. Again, these micro programs and programs could be organizations in themselves.
They probably will
Prep
be.
Year, we had our first one this year, and I was blessed to be able to speak to those students and to engage with them. They're incredible. The thing that's so special about Prep Year is that it embodies my husband in a way where he took a large gap year, let's just say that. He took a 13-year gap year. And that's resulted in all of you being here. But what's so great about Prep Year, and I could see even college seniors graduate going there. If you want to go to get your master's or anything further and you kind of just want a miniature break, it's 9 months and you get poured into by industry leaders, thought leaders, people from the admin, all different types of individuals come and talk to you, and it's amazing. It's a phenomenal program. It gives you a second to just take a beat. So when you are done, you either A, know what you're actually going to study when you get to college, or B, you don't go to college because you were able to connect with a mentor or an individual who is hiring in the field that you wanted to be in.
A mentor, a handler.
It gives you that beat, which I think is very important, and also gives you a reflective period of being able to pray to God to see, is this the path?
Wait, is that what it's called? A beat? Doesn't she mean break? Like giving you that break, right? A beat? Am I missing something? Does beat actually mean what she's saying it means? I've never heard the word beat used that way. You know, the cops are on their beat, right? I don't know. I think she's trying to say break.
That you have for me, is this your will? And it just gives you that minute. And those individuals that are a part of Prep Year, we have one in Texas. We're opening up our second one in Chicago. Again, building. We're not stopping. The noise of the internet is the noise of the internet. But you know what we do? We don't stay in our basement. We get out and fight and we build. Something also new that we have under our program RISE, which is our minority outreach program, is called Communities. Post 9/10, as you can imagine, and as you have felt, and as some of you are a result of, we have had a massive influx of individuals saying, I have no idea how to help, but I want to help, and I'm not in high school and I'm not in college. You have to understand that when Charlie built Turning Point USA, he did it with the mindset in the—
Wait, I thought you built it with them. Charlie built, I thought we built it. I thought you were there for the building and the creation of this machine. She slips up.
A vision of having Turning Point USA be something that will be able to have you holistically a part of the organization your entire life.
Holistically.
So for
your
Turning Point Education,
life, she wants TPUSA to have people for their entire life.
We have something for the little ones from 0 to whatever number. And then we have high school, and then we have college. We always have TPUSA Faith.
She does want an organization for kids from 0 to whatever age, then junior high and high school, college, and even after. There's something for everyone. Come on down.
But Communities is something where in your community, it's almost like a community chapter. Again, another new program that we've implemented. The best thing about a community chapter is that the high school and college chapters can also be a part of it. But what's interesting is within Communities, you have 4 different programs. You have RISE, again, the minority outreach. You have Young Professionals, which is important. You have Heroes, which is our veterans, our first responders. And then you have families. So it encompasses all of that. What's so special is that when you graduate or when you leave, you can still always be a part of the Turning Point USA family. Whether you're a part of our programs, whether we hire you, whether we help you get a job with the admin or whatever else.
Or whatever. Touching
on the admin before I go to something else, real quick. I know it's not easy. I get it. Trust me. I get it. But we fought so.
Does she though? She worked in administration. She did admin. Can you point to one thing on her LinkedIn where she did admin? She gets it though, guys. She wants everyone to know she's relatable. She can relate to everyone at any age, male, female, Christian, not Christian, whatever you do, I'm your girl.
So hard to get this admin in office. And Charlie would often say, regardless of how you feel of the person at the top of the ticket, you are voting for the rest of the ticket. You're voting for the rest of the admin and the rest of the cabinet. So I say that because, God willing, if we win in 28, great. That's a blessing. But if we don't, we have 2 years left. That's it. Politics will be slightly boring, boring once POTUS is out. There will be a whole new set of circumstances that come in. But while we have it, no matter how messy it might be, we have it.
I was listening to Seth Dillon as well. I actually think so. What they're saying about like Candace and Tucker and all of us that are disillusioned by everything that Trump has done, all the promises him and his administration made, and then all the decisions they've made after they got in has made us go like, okay, so our vote doesn't matter. Okay, so like this system is totally rigged against us. Their attack on Tucker and Candace and us is that we're trying to destroy the Republican Party. Okay, I actually think that's what they're trying to do. I think because if they're the new RNC, right, which they are, and if the way Charlie was taking it was not where they wanted it, which it was, and that's one of the main reasons why he got taken out, I think that they don't necessarily want a good Republican in the White House forever. They want it to go back and forth. They need it to go back and forth. The people that control, they need the illusion to continue. All right. And so kind of destroying MAGA, all right, which they've done. Okay. Trump and his administration and them, the America First and MAGA is pretty much disintegrated. Right. And, you know, you'll hear later about the polls. Right. I think they're already planning that Gavin Newsom or whoever they're going to tote out on the left it's almost a foregone conclusion will be the next president. But I think what they're doing is doing a lot more to ensure that outcome than anything Tucker, Candace, and us are doing. And I think that's by design. And she's kind of referencing that.
So please try to take advantage of that and look at opportunities more so than obstacles, because it will always be tough out there. It will always be a fight. Nothing's ever perfect. Great. That's life. But as you go through life and you're saying nothing's perfect, blah, 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 I hope that you find these conferences and these events a place for you to come to realize how good we actually have it. I will say one more thing before we get into something of a program that I'm really excited about to share with you that's very, very near and close to my heart. First and foremost, for those of you who have been asking me about having more, I'll just do more overarching. What is the vision for Turning Point USA? Aside from the elephant in the room about my husband.
What? What? Sorry, I needed water. I was so thirsty. What did she just say? I think we'll need to hear that again. What is Turning Point about? What is Turning Point here to do? And then she says, aside from the elephant in the room about my husband. What? That is a really, really gross and morbid way to speak about this situation. To reference it like that in front of these kids, in front of the world. I want to hear it again. I'm going to back up just a smidge.
From the elephant in the room about my husband. Our mission is the same.
So weird.
Especially when it comes to traditional American values and what we.
Oh, like being a CEO boss babe, corporate, ladder climber that you are. Is aside from the traditional values, Christian values, like the one that you're totally exemplifying every day that you wake up and you get out there and you live as you. Aside from that, yeah. How can someone be so obviously hypocritical with what they say and what they do and get up there and act like they're not? It's freaking nuts.
Stand for. But more so now than ever, I want to make sure that you guys are well equipped to be able to debate and have conversations on campus. There will be some of you who are going to be amazing to have you sit underneath that tent in the quad and take on every single question in a very respectful manner and to be able to change people's minds and to impact their hearts. There will be some of you in this room.
So what's really dangerous, you guys, is they are using Andrew Wilson, okay, to teach college students to do what Charlie was doing. Do you think those college students are going to get a security team? It's going to be a table, there's going to be a tent, and they're going to be outdoors. How can she and TPUSA ensure the safety of those kids? If they believe, which they say they do, that the left is the one responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and it was for doing the very thing she is now getting these college students to go do. She is literally, I think, going to put kids intentionally, in my opinion, possibly in harm's way, so that would validate their claim. See, it was about campus events, the debate, talking about, Christian, Orthodox, traditional values. Look, the left is still doing it. They're doing it again. And even if it's not someone that they put up to it, the potential now of the radicalization of other kids in that age group on the left, and now radicalizing that same age group of kids on the right, it is going to create tension. It's going to create conflict. It's going to create issues. And she has no problem saying she's going to enlist college students to go do this and put themselves in harm's way when they can't even use that part of their brain to determine if this is a dangerous and smart thing to do or not. Are they really going to have enough money? Well, they have enough money to create security teams to be with every college campus that is going to be doing these tabling events like Charlie did on the same day across the United States. How can she ensure these kids' safety? They couldn't even ensure Charlie's safety. That's just, it's a different level of sick, in my opinion. 2 years from 2028 is 2030. Lots of signs are pointing to big things that year. Yep. For one, CERN comes back online. Is this part of revealing the method? I like you, dude. I know. Yeah. Revealing the method. Yep. Yep. Yeah. That's another show I should start. I want to start doing other stuff I'm really interested in too.
And you guys will be the ones that are speaking to your own generation. That is way more important than throwing some man on campus that has no connection to you guys. You want to hear from your peers. I know that. I see that, and I see the need for it. I want you guys to know that we have resources at our disposal to help you to do that, to get you equipped to be on campus to do those things. If there are speakers that you know of that you want to hear from, please tell us. Not everyone is meant to be under the tent. There are some people that are great for being able to just go to a chapter meeting.
They have been watching and listening to us, you guys. So they attempted to put replacements out there. Cabot Phillips, Frank Turek, Graham Allen, Jack Posobiec, Blake Neff. Other people did did this whole pick up this blood-stained mic, pick up the mic campaign. They attempted to replace Charlie with these different men. All right. And there's others. I forget some of their names. There's this one that they're toting out right now. He's at campuses doing it. And it was 100% unsuccessful because it couldn't be more obvious that none of them are Charlie. I've said this, and I'm not the only one, that, you know, if you were to go back and watch the focus group that Charlie did with Andrew Colvett, where they sat down in the summer of 2025 with chapter leads, and all they did was talk about Israel. One of the kids really was a standout, right? I forget the kid's name. He was wearing an Arkansas hat with the wild boar on it. That kid ended up, remember, like speaking out and like resigning. And then he was like, in my opinion, forced to recant, and then like completely did a 180 in the days that followed that statement. But a lot of us that have criticized what they've tried to do after the assassination was, why couldn't they pick someone like what Charlie did? And he like naturally from the age, you know, his high school years up into his adulthood became who he was. And that we wanted to hear more from like the next Charlie, right? No one will ever replace Charlie, right? But I mean, they've tried to force people on us and it's been gross. But having someone, like, all I'm saying is this, is they're watching us, they're listening to us, and they're calling audibles on the field. All right. And this, in my opinion, is one of those audibles seeing played out now that they're putting into action. Okay.
Everyone serves their role and purpose in all of this.
What's yours?
So I want you guys to know that debate, dialogue, civil discourse, those are going to continue more than ever among all the other things that we have going on.
When?
The ethos of this organization will always remain the same, always.
Okay.
And what my husband built, we will not step away from, we will not distort, we will not try to rewrite.
Literally, that's what they've done, right? And again, remember earlier she said me and my husband, that she was there for the building. Then she goes, what my husband built. She goes back and forth from saying one thing to the other, right? Talking about that the ethos of the organization is gonna stay the same. It's exactly the same as what Charlie was doing. We're just carrying on his legacy. They have the slogan on the back, his legacy, your voice. That's manipulative. Right? That they are him. They are the living embodiment of his legacy, which might have been true if they, Erika Kirk and TPUSA, could have kept with his actual legacy and did and said the things he was doing and saying in 2025 and leading up to his assassination. All of us can see with our own eyes, hear with our own ears, and think with our own brain. And we all come to the independent conclusions without being manipulated from anyone else that they are 100% distorting, perverting, changing, and rewriting what Charlie had built, what Charlie had done, and what Charlie was doing. It's obvious. She gets up there and gaslights those kids and everyone else. Nope. And that's probably, I'm not using that right. She's not gaslighting them right now, but she's definitely manipulating them and lying to them.
If it's not broken, you don't go and try and fix it. Ever.
Then why did you guys change everything? Why couldn't you come out and support Massey? Why couldn't you come out and say you don't support the war? Why couldn't you come out and condemn the decision for Trump to get us into another war like this? Why couldn't you say that like Charlie was saying it? Why can't you ask and demand for transparency with the Jeffy Epi files? Huh? Why can't you come out and continue to speak out against Israel and their influence and their control over our country and our politicians? Why can't you do what Charlie was doing at the end and prove to us, well, they would have done it on their own and they haven't. You know, they're not going to change course now. If anything, they're doubling, tripling down. Poor kid.
So that's why even at AmFest, you'll see some new speakers.
Ooh.
You'll also see something in real time that I think is really important. To Cypher's point, we are not a think tank.
Oh.
We never will be. There's plenty of those. Anyone can write white papers and publish them. Great. What I want AmFest to be is filled with debate, right on right, left on right, to be able to go to AmFest and say, what is this movement? And come out with an answer. To be able to in real time see the white paper go through the Turning Point USA machine and come out at the end, and for you guys to be able to make your educated decision on where you stand on issues and not have to regurgitate talking points that you hear from people from their podcasts that are too afraid to have those debates because they don't actually know what they believe. They just regurgitate the points that they think sound good so that their audience stays strong.
I mean, that's literally what she's saying that she wants to do with this machine, right? I think of the video and the song, by Pink Floyd, The Wall, right? We don't need no education. Like an assembly line that they are just manufacturing these kids. What is AmFest? What are these events but indoctrinations? An indoctrination event, right? And campaign where these individuals on the stage are telling the kids what to think and then what to go out and do and how to be. The very thing, and Seth Dillon and Jeremy Boring do it in their show, is they are saying that they're not going to do the things that they actually are doing, and they're condemning and attacking others for the thing that they're actually doing themselves. So I think that would be gaslighting. Well, I mean, like gaslighting is like making you crazy, thinking that like you're not the one that is actually, you're the one that's to blame.
So AmFest will be fun. If you think of a very uncomfortable Thanksgiving dinner, put that on steroids.
Why?
It'll be interesting.
Why?
A little spicy. That's good though. That's good because it challenges your normal thinking. But this next program that's new, again, all of this stuff that I've mentioned is all new from 9/10. So when people ask,
everything's new from 9/10. She got to keep saying 9/10, 9/10, 9/10, 9/10. And she's also saying earlier, she's like, no, I have the script. I have the playbook. Charlie gave me the blueprint. We're following through with this legacy. And then she turns around and it's like, it's all new. It's all new since 9/10. It's all new since I got here.
Ask you, what is Turning Point even doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
A lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we have not stopped.
Yeah, we see. I thought about that Mean Girls thing too, right? She's trying to make 9/10 fetch, right? She's trying to get it to where people are going to start using 9/10 in the way that she's using it. Nope, because that's freaking morbid. And we know you are. We're not. We're not going to do that.
This new initiative, if you want to call it that, has been something that Charlie and I have talked about for years.
Oh, here we go.
I asked him many times when it would happen. He would always say soon. He would always say soon. And now more than ever, I know that it's something that we need.
Wait, I thought he told you everything. So by her own admission, she asked, when are we going to do it? And he gave her a vague non-answer. Soon. To me, if that statement's true, Charlie wasn't telling her everything. Hey, when are we going to do this? Soon. That's not answering it. That is not telling someone everything. Okay. I don't even know if they even had the conversation. I mean, like, if they did, it's her trying to like pressure him. When are we going to do this? When are we going to do this? And he's just like, soon. How about you go make me a sandwich?
Because all of you young men in here, I need you to be strong.
Oh, yeah.
I need you. I need you to be the hands and the feet in a way that inspires other generations of young men to wake up, to get off video games, to get off.
That was funny. That was a girl that said, yeah, to get off video games. Yeah. You didn't hear one male kid in there go, yeah. They're like, wait, don't take my video games. I'm not a video game guy. I don't even own a console.
To pour into your community, to pour into your family, and to be the man that God has created you to be. And so this next program has been something that I am making sure honors my husband and provides all of you a way to be well equipped to be that man in your own community and your sphere of influence. So I'm proud to announce that this fall and this summer, we will be having our Men's Leadership Summit.
How is a woman going to create and design? She's like, I wanted to, do this, create a men's leadership retreat summit for young men. Obviously, she can hire other men to like help create it and stuff. But I mean, she definitely said I a bunch of times in the lead up to that announcement. And we're going to get to it. I'm not going to be able to play the clip. Actually, I could mute it. I can mute it because they play music and stuff. And every time I've done something like that of theirs, my video gets dinged. And I can't do that. The problem is when they go to campuses, the college kids push back on the little hats. Yeah, I know. And the speakers couldn't give answers for them. Yep. And now they're trying to program these younger kids so they won't. That's very insightful and very true. Yeah, 100%. I got to be careful. I'm going to see, how can I mute it? Okay, I'll mute it at the bottom when all right.
You're welcome.
She is saying you're welcome. Like she did this. Okay. Well, I thought it was Charlie's idea. She loves it when people praise her. She loves being worshipped. Holy smokes. She's eating it up. That handkerchief went away really quick. Back in retirement. Look at her glowing. Oh my gosh.
Go ahead and put the graphic up. So let me tell you about this. Trust me, we went through a lot of it. I was like, no, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Perfect. I'm very big on design. It's a thing.
She's also very big on control, right? No, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Yep. I'm very big on design. It's a thing, right? She's very into image, how things look, how things are perceived. Okay. Very big for her.
So hear me out.
Hey.
This will not be young men, all of you, sitting in chairs with the fire sparklers and the EDM music. That's not this, okay? Young men are not meant to sit in chairs for 10 hours hearing from people pour into them. That's not how this is going to work. This is very different from our other programs, and this is intentional because I have a son, and it's creating this with him and Charlie in mind.
Okay, he's like 2. Okay. Someone needs to, I can't go to this. I'll be too old, but I have a feeling like it's going to be at some massive like compound in Southern California. And I have a feeling there's going to be some intense indoctrination. I have a feeling that they're going to have former special forces guys there kind of doing like mini boot camp stuff, breaking people down psychologically, emotionally, and physically, and then rebuilding them up as a group in their in an image that they want them to be. I have a feeling like they're like going to be creating somewhat of a little militant kind of group for men. I just have this feeling these other former special forces guys have created things like this for Christian men to go and be broken and then to be rebuilt in the image of God. And I think in theory, some of that may sound not bad. But when you look into some of these, camps and these, boot camp things, I don't know. I find issue with a lot of them, actually. Hold on. I just got one that came in. Mikey will run the Young Men's Summit. If you know, you know. What's interesting is I want to allow the video to play, but I'm going to cut the audio because intentionally they'll show a clip of Charlie, right? And then right after they show a clip of Mikey McCoy right before it cuts. That was by design. You got Charlie, who's just like a real man. And then they show Mikey, and it's like, and with the audio, I wish I could play it. If you guys haven't seen it, maybe, all right, hold on. I'll see what I can do.
Let me explain this to you. When you come to this event, it's very exclusive.
Very exclusive.
Very intentional. We are not releasing a speaker list.
Interesting.
You will know who the speakers are, but we're not making it public.
No one else.
And that's intentional.
Oh.
Because there are certain people who want to pour into you in various industries who you would be shocked and surprised to have pour into you.
So we're going to have people that from the outside, we would never assume that they're Christian and that they want to pour into young men, but they're going to be there. So men that by all intents and purposes does not seem like Christian, they don't seem like a Christian from just us watching, because you're saying that those men that you have there, we're going to be shocked that those men are there. Like, it doesn't match with what the world's perception of them are. Yeah, I bet.
And it gives them the opportunity to do that and still fly under the radar, because like Charlie would say, there are certain people that are meant to be fighters, and there's certain people that are meant to support the fighters. And sometimes those people are behind the scenes, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, everyone serves their purpose. But with Invictus, what we're trying to make sure that you guys have is the opportunity to be able to let that shield down. You guys will be going to a retreat center. When I say that, I mean you will be in the outdoors. You will be in California. So again, you'll be poured into in the morning, afternoon, evening, briefly, not super heavy. But then you guys can go out and you guys can do archery. You guys can go swim. You guys can canoe. Whatever you want. It's a huge property. So you guys will have access to that. College men, October. High school men, summer. Again, it's going to be an incredible time. I want you guys to roll the video so that they can see what we're aiming at here for intentionality.
All right, I have to mute it, but I want you guys to be able to see it later. Please don't do it right now. Maybe I can link the actual video to the full video to this. And this is at the 37:30 timestamp where they play this portion. If you guys are interested into what are the things they're saying, they're playing an AI video audio of Charlie Kirk right now. Okay, they're playing. It's not a real audio of him. It's a spliced together AI created, in my opinion, audio of him saying the things that they want him to say. Where is Mikey? There he is. They got to throw Mikey in there. You know, it's just insane. Just insane. I'm looking up what camp. I was trying to Google search what kind of, it's got to be a Christian, like center, camp, compound, retreat center in Southern California. They have one called Forest Falls. You have Hume. It's probably Hume, actually. I bet it's Hume. SoCal in Green Valley Lake. Thousand Pines Christian Camp and Conference Center, Crestline. Campus by the Sea, Catalina Island. No, maybe, but I think it's on the mainland. Palomar Christian Conference Center, Palomar Mountains. That's possible. Idlewild Pines Camp in Idlewild. Verdugo Pines Bible Camp in Valermo. And then you have Pine Valley Bible Conference Center in Pine Valley. I wonder which one this is going to be. They said that they're not going to, well, actually, it might even be listed on the thing. Let me pull it up. Where is it? I have this right here. Hopefully it doesn't mess up with the stream. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can read it to you guys. So it says, TPUSA Invictus Men's Leadership Summit registration. The inaugural men's summit is intended for men ages 18 to 26. To secure your spot, please complete the registration form below. Registration is free, so just registration is free. However, all applicants will be interviewed before confirmation for the retreat. The deadline to apply is August 31st. Please note that limited spots are available. If you have any questions, please get in touch with us at TPUSA. I think I'm going to reach out and, not be me, but I'm going to try to get more information on this at this email. And then event location and additional details will be shared upon confirmation. So they're not letting anyone know. Wow. And then we look forward to welcoming the Invictus Men's Leadership Summit. Yeah. Let's see what kind of questions they ask. So they want your full name, email, phone number, date of birth. Well, yeah, they have to do that because you have to be between 18 and 26. What school you go to? Are you a TPUSA chapter member? Social media. Oh, they're going to do social media background checked. Holy smokes, you guys. In order to be approved, they're going to check at people's social media background first. That's interesting. Why do you want to attend this event? What do you hope to take away from this experience? What values do you think are most important for men to live by? Interesting. A call to rise. Step into a weekend designed to shape the next generation of strong, capable leaders. Hosted by Turning Point USA, this men's summit brings together driven young men for an immersive camp experience centered on growth, character, and purpose. Through powerful mentorship, practical training, and meaningful connection, attendees will be equipped and emboldened to lead with integrity, protect what matters, and provide for those who depend on them. This is more than just a retreat. It's a call to rise, kind of like a call to action. You'll leave sharpened like a tool, confident and prepared to step into your role as a leading man of your generation. Interesting. I wonder if I click on this, what does this do? Frequently asked questions. Okay. No. Deadline. Who's eligible? Who will these sessions be live streamed? I don't know. No. The event content will be exclusive to those attending in person. Are there any opportunities to be a sponsor or vendor at this event? Oh, they're going to take money. Yeah, they're going to sell things to kids. Yeah. What supplies should I bring? To feel best prepared and ready for the weekend, please bring your own bedding, so like sleeping bag, including a pillow, sleeping bag, and other blankets you might need. And don't forget your own towel. A more detailed packing list will be provided upon acceptance in the event. What is the dress code? The recommended attire for this weekend is casual, comfortable, and practical for the outdoors. and then it tells you boots, sneakers and boots, hats, sunglasses, and layers suggested. Is room and board included? Your registration includes room and board. However, each participant will be required to bring their own sleeping bag. But I thought registration was free. But now the registration includes room and board. How can I apply for a travel stipend? Okay, to pay to get there. You can apply for a travel stipend at here. Please keep in mind that our travel stipends are awarded on a rolling basis and are never guaranteed. What's this one? It says, when is registration deadline? And then who is eligible to attend the men's summit is intended for men, and then the age applicants will be interviewed before receiving confirmation to the retreat. Interesting. Let me get to a couple of these super chats so I'm caught up. This one, it says, so outsiders can't criticize the speaker. Yep. Zorro Ranch West. Well, Zorro Ranch isn't that, what was that, New Mexico? Did he have any property in Southern California? I don't know. I mean, he probably did, but none that I know of. Greg Laurie will be a camp counselor, probably. Jack Hibbs. James Cadiz won't be able to be there. He's got his roto scooter. He can't make it to an outdoor event. He can't walk, okay? James Cadiz will not be there. They might, maybe they'll stream him. Maybe he will remotely mentor people. He may be a guest Zoom, speaker that they live stream in. But we got Jack Hibbs, Greg Laurie, Frank Turek, Rob McCoy, and the list goes on and on and on of the worst men you could ever hope to ever pour into your son. All right. Earlier, when she said they will be trained to be respectful debaters, I felt like screaming at her, like the current online debaters. Right. Like, yeah, you know who's never respectful? You know who they just hired to teach the next generation how to debate? And he is the most disrespectful debater I've ever heard. Never debated like Charlie Kirk. Andrew freaking Wilson. That's who they have training the next generation of debaters. Couldn't be more opposite to Charlie. Not to mention, when Charlie was alive, Andrew attacked him. Andrew didn't like TPUSA. Andrew didn't like Charlie Kirk. Okay? Go read his old tweets. Go to his X. Go to his history. Before he deletes it, other people have already reposted. He even attacked Erika. Okay? He even attacked Young Women's Leadership Summit. Okay? And they hired this guy. Or, they're going to have freaking Graham Allen, Jack Posobiec. You know who probably needs to attend, but they might end up being a speaker there, but should actually go through as a participant? Blake Neff. Blake Neff needs to become a man before he tells men how to act and behave. Homeboy has his mom on speed dial. His mom is his emergency contact, okay? Goodness.
Again, we build in pain and grief.
I bet.
And that's what we'll continue to do. And so for those of you who want to come in October, please make sure you sign up. You'll figure out how. The logistics someone else can handle, but you'll figure out how.
I'm not going to explain. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. That's someone else's job, not mine. I'm a vision caster. I'm here to cast the vision.
But in closing, I just want to encourage you how important your choices are. People will say, how do you do it? The only answer I will ever have is by the grace of God. That's just it.
My wife was like, every time she says something, there's someone over there, and it's like screaming applause. Screaming applause. She could say the most mundane, like just ridiculous, like non-important thing, and they're like, amen. Yeah. Erika, you're so great. She is a cult leader. She is developing a cult-like following, right? It is her, what is it when when you follow someone like a personality cult, or, you know, a charismatic leader, right? You know, when you're following the person and not the movement.
But more so than that,
Now they're all sitting down.
when I was your age, I made sure that the choices that I was making, it's almost like a muscle, if you will.
Is it?
The more you use it, the more you can rely upon it when you're making those choices. I don't know if you guys are athletes. I played basketball in high school and college.
I don't know if you guys know this. I was somewhat of an athlete myself. You know, yeah, I was like captain of the cheer squad, and I was like captain of the basketball team. I had the Letterman, I had the pins, I had the sashes. Yes, I was the best. She has to not pass up the opportunity to come across to these young men like she is someone that they can relate to, look up to. Also, she's talking about like the muscle of decision making in your adolescence, right? Making good choices to stay away from bad things. All right. Let's reference something real quick. All right. Because I got this pulled up. All right. Where is it? Here we go. So she dated, lived with, traveled with a man named Josh Harrelson, Big Jorts, a former University of Kentucky and NBA basketball player, right? Announces show they dated between 2012 and 2014. She was publicly referred to by his team as the first lady. Interesting. TJ Massey, or no, JT Massey. So Tyler Massey, her boyfriend from around 2014 to 2015. The two filmed that audition tape together as a couple for reality TV, The Amazing Race. She lived with these guys. She lived with them. Okay. As an adult who lived with these men, you know what decision they're doing and they're making. Okay. That's not saving yourself traditionally for marriage and for Charlie. That's not saying like everything that she said is a lie, that she lived and made decisions so that God would bring the right man into her life, because she was going to be ready all the time. You can't wait for God to bring the man into your life and then say you're going to change. You have to be living that way now. Okay. She was dating Cabot Pizza Phillips. Remember? Mr. I got pizza tattooed on my inner lip. Phillips, a conservative media figure who worked for the Daily Wire and still does. Or maybe he works for Turning Point now, but he definitely worked for the Daily Wire as a speaker. So that's weird. That's weird. So she had no degrees of separation from Charlie. That means she knew about Charlie right up until the time she started dating him, right? So social media footprints show that they dated in 2017. Thought she didn't date for 5 years. Thought she didn't drink for 5 years. Okay. Well, we knew that she was drinking in the summer of 2018 when she was on that filming of that show, that the Bravo's reality show Summer House, that she was literally filming right up into the time she flew to meet Charlie. But this means when she was dating Cabot Phillips and he was working as a speaker for Turning Point USA, she knew exactly who Charlie was. Okay. She was watching him from a distance and trying to find a way to get to him. Okay. Yeah, they attended public events as a couple, right? That she lied about, right? Because she was painting. Yes, we're a couple that paints together. All right. Jordan Verari, a cast member on Bravo's reality show Summer House. Erika appeared on the show during season 3, filmed in 2018, the summer. It's Summer House. Literally, she was dating someone that the days before she flew out to meet Charlie, drinking on that film set. And she lies to all of us and says that she didn't drink, right? She was set up on a filmed blind date. Great. And then Charlie Kirk, right? Her late husband in 2000. I don't know. This says they began dating in 2019, but they actually began dating in 2018. So this is wrong. But they got engaged in 2020 and married on May 8th, 2021. So now we'll go back to talk about the decisions that she made when she was younger.
And what you learn and what I love about sports is the discipline. Lazy people attract lazy people. Driven and motivated people attract driven and motivated people. So every day you have a choice, just like that man that was in the courtroom who murdered my husband.
Right there.
So
right there. She is not supposed to be talking about the case. She is not supposed to be talking about Tyler Robinson, his guilt or his innocence. All right. She right there is talking about the court case, the trial, being there at the prelim, and saying that she knows for a fact that Tyler Robinson murdered her husband. What happened to innocent until proven guilty? Why can't she say the man who allegedly murdered my husband? Or how about she could say the man who I believe, the man that I think murdered my husband? No, she states it as a fact, the man who murdered my husband. It hasn't even reached the point for the judge to determine whether there's even enough probable cause to go to trial, let alone the trial hasn't even commenced. The trial hasn't even concluded. No guilty verdict. He hasn't been convicted and found guilty of murdering her husband. But she gets up there and says, the man who murdered my husband. The week after she was there, where the defense attorney said, she's doing this, Your Honor. She's out there saying these things to the world. That's prejudicing the jury pool. That's tainting the jury pool more than anyone else. She, the widow, who also says, I've seen all the evidence against him. I've seen it all. I'm part of the team. We are a team. And that's how I've come to my conclusion that he's guilty, because I've seen it all. I've seen the autopsy and I've seen all the evidence, and he's guilty. He's the one that did it. How can people not see how evil that is? Okay, having said that, let's move to this.
Justice is giving a man his due, and Kyle Rittenhouse deserves to be able to have Thanksgiving with his family. Think about that.
Hold on. This is Charlie Kirk talking about someone who is on trial, right? Or going to be on trial, who has been charged with murder, but hasn't been convicted yet. What is Charlie Kirk's own thoughts and opinions on this matter?
Justice is giving a man his due, and Kyle Rittenhouse deserves to be able to have Thanksgiving with his family. Think about that. That what they just put forward, if they would have said guilty, the mandatory minimum for first-degree murder is life for the rest of in jail for the rest of his life. And you know, there's a lot of biblical context in this, and you're right, where it's, you know, in the biblical, you know, story or narrative, you know, you're going to meet your maker and you will have justice ahead of you. You can either go spend the rest of your eternity in a place you don't want to spend, or you could go and walk free. And in the earthly context, that's exactly what you just saw. That you rarely ever see it like that, right?
Exactly.
And just so everyone understands, less than 1% of cases that go to trial does the defendant not get go to jail. Less than 1% are cases actually there.
Yes.
And this is a huge blow to the regime. Massive blow.
Yep.
So Tyler Robinson deserves his day in court, unperverted, right? Not tainted by Erika Kirk, the widow, and her team. Interview 4 vulnerable men or boys that can be mentored. Please don't send your boys here. This is so disturbing. Andrew Wilson on X is pathetic. Leech. Yeah, he's not a real man, okay? He agreed to debate me and then reneged and then pretended like I don't exist and he has no idea who I am. Okay. Brandon Tatum just offered to debate anyone who doesn't believe that Tyler Robinson is the lone gunman. And I posted it and other people posted it. I accepted and I extended the challenge back to him. I'm trying to find ways to contact him directly, like direct message or anything like that. You guys know a way. Please give it to me or call him out on it and direct him to accept the challenge that he gave and that he would debate. The men out there acting like men, saying that they'll debate people openly and honestly, and then completely back out and act like they, you know, don't even know who I am. Scooch, you know they have people instructed to clap. Yeah, that my wife was positive about that for sure. Also, other people posted that people were paid to be there. I mean, everyone wearing like specific merch, like they're all wearing the 47 white hat. Either it's given out, right? Or when people either people are, and it's probably a both and, that people are paid to be there and people are, going on their own, but that everyone's probably given a package when they get there of like a gift of memorabilia and merch to wear. And they're like encouraged to all wear it, right? So they all look unified, together, united. Yeah.
Choice that you make, I've said this before, leaves a mark on your soul.
Oh, every choice you make, like living with men outside of marriage and having premarital relations, which we all make mistakes, right? But she's up there saying at different times that she didn't make those mistakes. She made the right decision. She knew what God had wanted for her, virtue and purity, saving herself for marriage, living a, pure, virtuous life so that God would bring her Charlie Kirk. If you want a man like Charlie Kirk, you got to do what I was doing. Well, what you were doing wasn't living a Christian life. You were living a very worldly, secular life your whole life until the day, literally the day you met Charlie was the day you became a Christian outwardly.
So when you wake up in the morning after you just had your table flipped, the chapter leader from Belmont told me the most horrifying thing that people do in front of her table. When that happens to you, you have a choice.
Do I keep tabling?
Do you wake up the next day and go table again?
Table.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
Yeah, it's a cult. It is.
You also have the choice of making sure that every possible chance you have, you reflect the gospel. And so...
Yeah, like Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk's a reflection of the gospel. Give me a break.
When you're on campus, people will watch your actions way more than your words.
We're doing that with you.
So whatever's happening, before you even set up your table, just ask God to put the armor of God around you and to protect everything in your sphere. Put a hedge of protection around yourself, your brain. Don't put the pressure on yourself to carry a revival. You are a seed planter. Everyone serves a purpose, but when they come up to your table, plant the seed. Be warm and engaging. If you don't want to say big gov sucks, that's fine. Say, I love small government. There's different ways of making things sound optimistic. And that's what I want people to understand about Turning Point USA. What you are a part of is something that is a solution. It's not creating more problems. You guys are the solution to a lot of things in this country. And your voice carries so much weight. So when someone says, why are you a part of Turning Point? I want you to put your shoulders back and stand very tall.
Put your hands up.
And say, because yes, okay, this is Charlie's legacy, but it's also mine. And millions of people are watching you. Millions. And every day when you make the choice to fight, again, not just for my husband, but for yourself and for your family, you are standing up against evil and declaring to the heavens on high that, again, this world will never break you, and that you are allowing the Holy Spirit to work through you in a way that will just make the enemy cower. Enemy cower. So I don't care if it's a trans, if it's a gender confused person.
She knows what she's doing. You guys, she is setting up the potential for the next violent attack, right? She thinks, or she says, she believes that Tyler Robinson murdered her husband and that his boyfriend was Lance Twiggs, who was a trans, furry, LGBTQ confused gay man, and that this was the motive, right? The Englehart letter, that this is the motive and the mindset of Tyler Robinson when he supposedly pulled the trigger. And now she's saying, you're going to go out on campus events. I want you to put on the armor of God. I want you to stand up and put your shoulders back and be ready to fight. This is military, militant language. And she wants people to be prepared for the eventual, almost sure confrontation that's going to happen between these masculine Christian men and then these other men, right? These trans, gay men that she's saying, that's who's going to come up and confront you. That's going to be who you are going to be arguing and debating against. It's unreal. You know, they have people instructed to clap. I think I did that one, right? Yeah. Oklahomandria. Hey, I was born in Tulsa. Did you know that? I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Did it not let you write the... Oh, here's another one. TPUSA is pivoting to the mega church model. Yep, they sure are. I got another one. Who do we have here? What is it? Gaynor Lowndes. I'm really bad at this. TPUSA from this speech sounds a lot like Mortal Kombat Ultra for the next generation. It's scary. Hello from Australia. Good day, mate. How's put another shrimp on the barbie? Well, what's the weather like down in the down under? You know, one of my favorite movies I liked to watch growing up was Rescuers Down Under. Has anyone seen that movie, Rescuers Down Under? It's the sequel. The first one I think was just Rescuers. I forget what the first one was named, but the second one's called Rescuers Down Under.
If it's a Muslim, if it's whoever else that's standing in front of you, that's spitting on you, that's cussing at you, that's throwing your buttons everywhere, I don't care. You are what Charlie always said. You are what? You are a happy warrior. That is what you are as you fight. And so before, I know there's someone else who wants to speak after I close out, but
they finally sat down. Everyone's sitting now. Holy smokes. They stood for about 35 minutes. Those poor kids. Someone, whoever was holding up the sign, stay standing, their arms got tired and they were like, I can't keep doing this. And they finally put it down. And then everyone was like, oh, we could sit down now.
before I close, there is something that has gotten me through not just these past 10 months, but also this past week, and that is the power of prayer.
Again,
and before I have you guys leave here,
wait.
Again, it's not, I don't want you guys.
I thought she was going to pray. I thought for the first time in recorded history, we were going to hear Erika Kirk pray, and that we were going to get some sort of insight to her theology and the depth of her Christian walk. Nope, she outsourced it.
To leave after I'm done because there's something they want to share with you. But before you guys leave here,
hold on. I cut that up. I didn't want to miss that. Hold on. Let me go back.
To leave after I'm done because there's something they want to share with you.
Oh, I got to go back a little bit further. Sorry.
I know there's someone else who wants to speak after I close out, but before I close, there is something that has gotten me through not just these past 10 months, but also this past week, and that is the power of prayer. And before I have you guys leave here, which again, it's not, I don't want you guys to leave after I'm done because there's something they want to share with you. But before you guys leave here, I want to cover you guys in prayer. I send out something to our staff every Monday asking how I can pray for them by name and what other prayer requests and praise reports that they have.
There's no way that Erika Kirk sends out a text to every single one of those people individually and then receives them, and then individually she prays for each one of them. No way. There's just not enough time. She has her Proclaim streetwear. She has her Bible in 365 that she wakes up at 3 a.m. every morning and personally sends out each thing, and that she personally answers every email and every message that she gets from TPUSA and Bible in 365. And she has 2 kids under the age of 5. Okay. Then she has her own personal stuff that she might do. She is, I think, a human. Maybe we don't know. And then she's running this organization. there's just not enough time in the day for Erika to honestly be doing all the things that she says she's doing.
Because I want to be able to support them. I will be doing the same with you guys. You don't have to put your name if you don't want to, but I want to know how I can be praying for each and every one of you individually as you go back into the battlefield.
She wants to know how she said she can pray for each one of them individually so that she can pray for them and then send them back into the battlefield.
Because that's what it is. And we are all in this fight together. We are all on the front lines together.
Front lines.
I want you to know that you have access to me and to Turning Point.
Yeah, right.
If those of you have not been to headquarters, please come. We have 6 buildings and they're packed. And they're filled with people who love this country and love you. And so if you ever have a doubt or a hesitation as to why you are a part of this organization, come home. Come see us. We would love to see you. And
that's a lie, dude.
But I want to cover you all in prayer. And I'm going to ask that Robin Pugh comes out.
That's really misleading. I want to cover you in prayer. I want to cover all of you in prayer. Okay, Pastor, come on out. Will you pray for them? Yeah, he's going to do it for me.
He is my husband's executive advisor, amazing man of God, and he is a prayer warrior. And I'm going to ask for him.
Why do all the men that they bring out and that they say are amazing men of God, why do they all look gay? I'm just being honest. Why do they all look gay?
And to cover you all in prayer in a way that will just ignite your soul and fire even more for the fight. Because we need you. We all need you. And I am so, so proud of each and every one of you. And I cannot thank you enough for making sure that my husband's life does not become a footnote in a history book. So grateful.
His voice, his legacy, your voice. Your way to keep Charlie's legacy alive is to find your voice. And I hope this weekend has been, in part, equipping for you to be able to find your voice. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift makes room for him. A woman's gift makes room for her and ushers her into the great. You are not Charlie. He would not want you to use his voice. He would want you to use the platform that he created, that Erika created, for you to find your voice. Imagine if...
Can you tell that to Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff and Erika Kirk? They need to find their own voice, all right? Because they keep telling everybody what Charlie Kirk had said, that he never said on tape, never said on recording. We never heard him say these things or saw him say these things, but they're sure telling us a lot of things Charlie said behind closed doors. Can you tell them to find their own voice? Can you tell them to rename the show after one of them? Can you please tell them it's time to let Charlie just rest in peace and they could stop benefiting off of him?
Every single one of you understood at your core soul level your identity in Christ and the gifts that he has bestowed upon you. The untapped potential that is in this room can continue to change the world.
Okay, I don't want to force you guys to hear his prayer because I feel like it's just so manipulative. But yeah, someone said he's gay. But I can mute it because I want to show you what he has them do, and Erika's going to stand on stage and do it.
That's how we keep Charlie's legacy alive, and that's how we honor Erika, the leader of this organization. With
the leader, we honor Erika, the leader, the fearless leader. Oh, we worship the widow.
You understanding your identity, your identity in Christ and how you're made. Not the same as somebody else, different, unique. So what I want to do in this prayer is I want to commission you for the work that God has spoken into you, for the reason that you came, your assignment. So if you would, I would love for you to stand up.
They're like, are you serious, dude? We were standing the last 50 minutes. We just sat down. We can't sit down when you pray over us? Come on, dude. Let us sit down.
Your hands open this way in a posture of receiving. And I
look at Erika. Look at Erika. She's just going to stand there this whole time like this. Super bizarre, dude. I know it's a common thing too, like in Christianity, maybe not in a lot of the more orthodox sects, but I mean, in Pentecostal, evangelical, it is, right? Like, it's also a sign of surrender, actually. You know, open hand, open palm. I don't have anything in my hand. I'm not a threat to you. Okay.
I forbid the enemy from knowing, hearing, perceiving anything that we are talking about. In the name of Jesus, we are doing kingdom business here. And he is barred. He is banned to the foot of the cross to hear anything that we're doing. And let us go into this commissioning. Holy Spirit, come and bring your presence and your power inside of every single one of us.
I feel so bad for you.
You say in scripture that we will do more than even Christ when he was on this planet. We have a hard time believing that because of the miracles that he performed, and yet we will take you at your word, your inerrant word in scripture. And if that's the case, we have authority. Father God, we only want what you want, and we ask that you bring your provision and your protection for your glory. Humble us. Make us into that happy warrior that Charlie so well modeled for us. Give us the obedience to submit to your will. Give us the ear.
You guys see this kid? This guy might be undercover. Everyone's like, well, yeah, they all have the girls have their eyes closed. This guy, I can't tell, but this kid's like doing this. He's like looking around. He's like, am I doing it right? Am I supposed to close my eyes? What are you guys doing? Did you fall asleep? Are you asleep? He's like, I don't know. Is this the right? Okay, I'm just going to stand here and keep looking at everybody.
To be able to hear what that will is, what that assignment is. Give us the discernment to build others up with our words. Let our words stemming from the purity of our heart be aromatic even to others who don't want to hear it. Give us the courage to serve others, even the ones that we have a hard time wanting to serve. Consecrate, Lord, each individual for your assignment for them. And I commission every single one of you for your assignment, your unique, specific assignment from the Lord. And I ask that the Lord strengthen your hand. I bless you with strong hands for that work as you stand before God in this world and say what Charlie always said, yes, Lord, here I am, send me. And all God's children said, amen.
God bless you guys. Keep fighting the good fight.
Keep fighting the good fight. Hopefully you guys didn't think I was done. I have this in the branch description in the title, so I want to get to it. You guys, I want to get to this before anyone else finds this. Seth Dillon finally admits some things about the Hamptons retreat. Okay. Even though we've been here for a good minute, I'm buckled up and ready for this. Hopefully not everybody left. You're not going to want to miss what he says about the Hamptons retreat. That's where Charlie was pressured. That's where Charlie right after the Hamptons retreat, he goes to the Tucker Carlson's house with Erika. Erika was at the Hamptons retreat. Why hasn't she ever spoken publicly about what happened there? I don't know. But we're going to hear it straight from Seth Dillon and Jeremy Gay Boring. What happened at the Hamptons retreat? And it's going to answer a lot of questions that we've all had. Check the trash cans in the back for their prayers. Yep. I bet this pastor has a transportation business, just like all of them do. Yeah. All right, let's get right into it, you guys.
Accused of being part of a pressure campaign or even an intervention in the Hamptons about a month before Charlie Kirk died. What happened up there?
Going right into it, huh?
Yeah, there are,
Right
buddy.
into it.
Yep.
A pressure campaign.
Yep.
It came to light that there had been this retreat, this influencer retreat that had been hosted in the Hamptons, that Charlie was at, and that there were also other people at, including myself. Bill Ackman's name was mentioned initially.
Yep.
But it wasn't really clear. Yeah, I don't think even at the beginning his name was dropped. I think right at the beginning it was like me and Bill Ackman were maybe two of the only names that had been mentioned.
Well, you were mentioned as two of the main people that were pressuring Charlie. Like, yes, Josh Hammer and others were there, but those that were told about it from Charlie and from others that were there had said, you and Bill Ackman were doing a lot of the pressuring. That's why you're named, and you know it.
It later became clear that this was like a big kind of get together. There were several people, influencers. That Riley Gaines was there. There was a group of people that were there. The mischaracterization of what happened there is so outrageous, because this was not. It's been characterized as an intervention. You had this situation where views on Israel, the whole conversation on Israel and where Charlie stood and all of that was something that was being wrestled with and debated. And, he had some of his comments that sounded like he was maybe shifting on the issue or whatever. And so there was
whatever. Listen, you guys. So in the summer of 2025, Charlie has on Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and Dave Smith destroys Josh Hammer. Everything they really focused on was Jeffy Epi and how he is part of the Mossad, and Israel was actually the ones behind Jeffy Epi. And that brought on a larger conversation about Israel's involvement in the United States. Okay. At that retreat as well is when Charlie Kirk and Andrew Colvett sat down with that focus group of chapter leads, and all they talked about was Israel. Seth Dillon knows that. He knows that Charlie was going max, and he told Tucker to go max, and he had Dave Smith destroy Josh Hammer on all things Israel, which really put to rest for all of us, like, you can't really defend those ideas, Josh. And anyone that continues to do so is just freaking evil that they're going to continue to do that. From there, okay, he goes to the Hamptons retreat. Well, not like immediately. There's a little bit of time in between, but he goes to the Hamptons retreat. And that's where this pressure campaign happened, because they're already preparing and planning for AmFest, okay? And based on how Student Action Summit went, how that debate went with Josh Hammer and Dave Smith, and how that focus group went, every one of the donors and all the people that watched Tucker, watched Megyn, watched Charlie, and watched all that were like, they were nervous for AmFest. They were visibly and understandably nervous, because they have their side that they want to defend and not let the rest of us get the truth. So the pressure campaign began in earnest right then. And the Hamptons retreat, though it was called on by Charlie, all of these people, I think, really were there to try to ensure that Charlie wasn't going to do a Student Action 2.0 kind of thing at AmFest. Don't have Tucker on. And he goes, don't tell me what to do. Okay. I'm going to have Tucker, and I might have Candace on now. And I believe it was Seth Dillon that texted back, or it was Andrew Colvett, and said, I don't think that's a good idea, Charlie. Don't have Candace on. That might seem like a good idea in the short term, but in the long term, that's a bad idea. Charlie's like, don't tell me what to do.
This effort to determine to what extent and who was involved in pressuring Charlie to not speak his mind openly, to try to silence him or suppress what he was actually thinking and feeling. What happened at the Hamptons was simply a meeting that Charlie put together, that he organized. I got an invitation to it personally from Charlie. He sends me a message. He goes, Seth, we're doing this thing in August. It's in the Hamptons. It's called the Save the West Retreat. I'd like you to be there if you could come. And I told him, you know, if I can make it work with my calendar, I'll be there.
Oh, you made it work.
So I was there at his invitation, as were the other people that were present at this thing. And the whole thing was this, Charlie standing at the front of the room. He had his team there and he had the microphone, and there's 30 or so of us in the audience. And he's driving the conversation, talking about what the issues of the day are that we need to be paying attention to, what the real threats to liberty are, what the real threats to what.
What do you believe? It's the crazy left and Islam. What do you bet? What do you bet? Here's the other thing. We know that Charlie filmed every event, right? We know that. They said that. They have hidden footage from all of these things. Charlie said, anytime I spoke and at the donor retreats and these like behind closed doors kind of, not secretive, but exclusive events, they were filmed. If they really are telling the truth, why wouldn't they want to put out the video? If they're telling the truth, post the video in full, unedited. Play the video. Play it. Play the video from the donors retreat in Aspen. Prove to us you're not the liars that we all think you are, but they won't do it. You got to ask yourself, why won't they do it? Because it doesn't prove them to be telling the truth. That's why, in my opinion.
Western civilization are, Islam being chief among them, in his view. And so he's driving the conversation, talking about these things and seeking feedback from us on what we think, kind of polling the room. He had a variety of people in the room. And
you know what that's also called? Gaining intel on who. So when he went to the 10X leadership, the 10X conference with Grant Cardone, he said, when asked, like, do you pay attention to the threats, or do you get nervous about the threats? Like, who threatens you kind of question. And he goes, no, crazy leftist jihadists don't scare me. Their threats are like a freaking Tuesday. It happens every day. It's not a big deal. That doesn't concern me. What draws my attention are people on my inner circle, people that have deceived me, betrayed me, okay, lied to me, or told me that I couldn't or shouldn't be doing something, or that I can't do something. Those are the people that draws attention, okay? I believe Charlie is strategic. If he was getting all this pressure through emails, phone calls, text messages from people telling him, don't do this, Lori Cardozo Moore, many others were doing it as well. He wanted to see people in person, face to face. Tell me that in person, face to face. Tell me what to do. Try to manipulate me. Try to offer me more money. Try to threaten to take money away if I don't do what you want. I want to know in real life, in my face, who I can trust. I think it was a way to discern who really is for him and who was against him. He didn't need any of these idiots' opinions. He didn't need to know what they thought or felt on anything. None of us tune in to TPUSA when Charlie was alive to hear what the donors thought, to hear what Seth Dillon thought. If you wanted that, go to Babylon BS, okay? No one cares about your satire take on reality. We came to Charlie Kirk because he was informed, he was honest, and he was articulate, and he was a good person. He was direct. He didn't need anyone's help with anything.
To hear what all of our opinions were on it.
Are we talking 5 or 10 people, or are we talking 20 or 30 people?
30 or so, I think, in the room, roughly. So it's this like kind of almost like a round table discussion, but with Charlie at the head.
Oh.
So
Moderating his own intervention.
Moderating his own. Yeah. So that's where I'm just trying to establish that this is not a situation where, we called Charlie in and
never said
ambushed him.
We never
right?
said that.
This is Charlie calling us to a conversation and driving the conversation.
It doesn't change the fact that you guys took the opportunity to pressure him. He doesn't have to be the one. This situation doesn't have to rest on whether he called it or you called it. That doesn't make what happened there true or not true. Okay. Just because he called it doesn't mean that you guys didn't pressure him. And that's what you're inferring and implying, that, oh, well, he's the one that called us. He's the one that dictated the terms of this setting. He's the one that was telling us what he wanted to hear from us about. So therefore, we could never have then taken the opportunity to pressure him about Israel.
And of course, Israel came up. It's one of the topics that, is on top of mind for a lot of people.
It was the topic. It is the topic. It's not one of, it's not somewhat, it is the issue. It was the issue then, and it is the issue now.
It's a topic that's being hammered into our heads constantly by people who don't want to talk about anything else. Well, at the same time saying they're not allowed to talk about it, of course.
He's talking about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly.
But it was not the primary reason that we were there. It wasn't to discuss that issue. It did come up, of course. And Charlie was asking us for our feedback on things. I remember.
You have no idea the hidden reason why Charlie did that. You have no clue why he really called that.
At one point, I was sitting there. I hadn't said anything in a while. And he went to me and he goes, Seth, what do you think? You haven't said anything in a little bit. Speak your mind. Tell me.
So Seth is there, right? And he supposedly was called there because Charlie wanted their opinion and Seth wasn't saying anything. So the topic is Islam and probably the Democrats and the crazy leftists, right? He has nothing to say. So then Charlie asks him, come on, Seth, you're here. How about you give some input?
What you think? So he was soliciting our opinions. There weren't donors at this thing other than, potentially Bill Ackman.
Bill Ackman was a donor. We know that. Yeah, there were donors there.
I don't know if Bill Ackman is one of his donors or not. He's certainly someone who would be capable of being one of his larger donors, but the rest of the people in the room were influencers, a lot of them much younger than me. I don't consider myself an influencer. I don't know if you consider yourself an influencer, but I run a media company.
No, you consider yourself influencers. We don't consider you influencers because you're not influential. Okay. But yeah, you're a total dude.
I happen to have a following, so I'm a public figure, but I don't consider myself
he has
an influencer. I was just happy to be there because Charlie asked me to be there. So there was conversation that happened around Israel. There was debate about Israel. There were people in the room who thought that Israel had overreacted to what happened on October 7th. There were people in the room who were defending Israel in their response to October 7th. So there was definitely some spirited debate that was happening there. That's how I've characterized it before.
And his voice was spirited debate. Yeah. You said it was confrontational. Okay. Just like the last Zoom call meeting with Rabbi Wolicki. I bet you were on that too. And Josh Hammer and others. That was also very confrontational. It was combative.
People passionately vying for their
positions. Here we go. Just a quick Google search. Yes. Billionaire investor Bill Ackman has financial ties to Turning Point USA, TPUSA events, and its late founder, Charlie Kirk. Yep. So even though while traditionally a Democratic donor, Ackman's involvement with the conservative organization became public through event sponsorship and crisis support. He created a Charlie Kirk Memorial Fund. I think he's also the one that gave out the FBI bounty. Yeah, Bill Ackman pledged $1 million or an additional $1 million to the FBI reward fund to assisting the capture in Kirk's killer. Yeah, Bill Ackman personally covered the costs for high-profile at TPUSA Hamptons event. He covered the cost of the event, you guys, paying for travel, food, and lodging. Interesting. So did Charlie Kirk really call it? Was it really Charlie Kirk's idea, or was Charlie Kirk the one that just reached out to y'all on the behest of Bill Ackman?
But nobody at any point in that room that anybody witnessed, and there's been a lot of people who came out, nobody was telling Charlie that he must do something, anything. There was nobody who was dictating to Charlie what he must think or how he must feel or what he must say.
No one ever said that you said that you were dictating what he thought, felt, or said. That's not what the accusation and the claim is. The claim is that you guys were pressuring him not to have Tucker on, not to have Candace on at AmFest, to stop talking about Israel negatively, to stop asking questions about Jeffy Epi, to stop asking for transparency from this administration, to stop talking about the war.
About anything related to Israel or any other topic. It was just a conversation that was being had where people were going back and forth about this.
Right.
Did Charlie ever tell you that he was being pressured by other people, maybe people who weren't in the Hamptons?
Did he ever tell me that personally? No.
He got out of that one. Did Charlie ever say that? And then he asked, did he ever tell me that? That implies that he knows that Charlie was being pressured, that he's at least heard it or saw it from other people. But did Charlie ever say that to him? No, not to me personally. And that was his way to get out of this. But yes, he had knowledge that Charlie was being pressured.
No, what he had talked about apparently was that there were donors who were
apparently
holding money over his head. This is something that has come out that he's actually expressed, is that there were people who were saying, look, if you're going to go down this path, for example, if you're going to have Tucker on your stage and you're going to platform him, then we don't want to give you money anymore. Apparently that was happening. That wasn't
apparently. Okay, if Charlie said that, then it's not apparently. Charlie did say it. He said it multiple times. He said it with Megyn Kelly. So it's not apparently. It did happen. Charlie didn't make that up. Charlie said it himself. He was very vocal about it.
That's not what the Hamptons was, though. I think there's a conflation that's happened there where some of these people who are suggesting that something nefarious happened in the Hamptons are trying to suggest that that's what was going on there, that me or other people who were donors to Turning Point USA were exerting some pressure on him and trying to blackmail him.
What do you call that, you guys? Okay. How is that not blackmailing someone? Okay. Maybe not in the traditional sense, but it is. Don't have Tucker on or I pull the money. Okay. Don't do this or I take the money. Don't do this. Don't say this or I take the money. How is that not a form of blackmail? Okay. Money's involved and forced action is involved. If you do this, then you get this. If you don't do this, then you don't get this, and vice versa. That's blackmail. In any sense, that's blackmail.
Word that's been used multiple times by holding money over his head and trying to control what he does with money. The Hamptons wasn't about that. The Hamptons was, how do we save the West? How do we save Western civilization? What is that? What are the issues that we need to be concerned about?
I would say getting Israel out of our freaking country, out of our politics. Okay. Them not controlling what wars we get in. The other thing I found out, do I have it? Maybe it's in my history where I found something that BB said, and it was fascinating. Did you know that they're not actually doing away with the financial support we're giving to Israel? They're just converting it. Okay. So yes, we're going to not be just giving them money anymore. Now we're going to merge our intel agencies and our militaries. Now it's a partnership. Now we're just collaborating. Okay. We're working together. Before we were just giving money. Now it's even worse. Now we've allowed, the fox into the hen house. Now they're going to be tied to us even more so.
And trying to get everybody kind of in sync on like what our messaging should be and how we handle these issues. And so
that's what
I
we
saw.
said.
To Charlie's credit, he was polling the room. He was trying to see where people stood on these things, and he wanted to hear from us and know what our opinions were. So we shared them, and that was really it. That's all that happened in the Hamptons, and it's been turned into this thing. I mean, I've received death threats, an endless string of death threats. One man out of Texas was arrested.
Yeah, we don't care about your death threats, dude. You're such a victim. Wait, I had to share this first, and then is it shared? I'm going to play it. I found it, this clip of BB. Let's listen to what BB says here.
Well, Prime Minister, will that drawing down of foreign aid from the United States to Israel be compensated by the proposal to have a merging of some sort between our Pentagon and your military?
Yeah, I'm calling it from aid to partnership. So we take away the money that is given to Israel, which is one part, but the other part is we co-invest in equal measures in the new technologies that are needed to give our military and your military the advantage. So there are some unbelievable projects. So we invest jointly and take the fruits equally. You move from aid to partnership, and I think that represents what Israel is. And remember, the other thing is that we share with America unbelievable intelligence to save American life.
Really? Is that the same kind of intelligence that told us that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction and got us into a 20-year quagmire war where we lost thousands of Americans? Huh? Yeah, that kind of intelligence. How about the intelligence that for 30 years told us that Iran was just weeks away from a nuke, just weeks away, and then we supposedly obliterate their nuclear capability in their facilities, and then just weeks later, oh, nope, they're still just weeks away. Nope, just weeks away, you guys, it's dangerous. No, we got to go in. We got to go in. That kind of intelligence.
General Keegan has said that when he was working in American intelligence, what Israel was giving the United States was worth, he said, 5 CIAs. Now, I'm not trying to be mathematically exact, but Israel's contributions to America's defense are important. Our technology is...
Didn't stop 9/11, did it? Didn't stop 9/11. I thought you had amazing intel, bro. You couldn't even stop October 7th. Your intel sucks. Unless you knew, and you needed it to happen. So now you could just obliterate and flatten, Palestine and rebuild it into the Palm Beach of the Middle East, as you put it.
Incredible. And since yours is incredible too, and you're the great champion of liberty and free markets, I think the meshing of our two great countries of talent I've
always wondered, is that herpes on his lip? Does he have herpes, or is that a cold sore, or is that a mole that he just cuts it every time he shaves and it never goes away? This thing right there, it bothers me when I see him.
Strengthening America's position, competitive position, both in the economic marketplace and in the military battlefield in many important ways. So that's the idea. The idea is to take away aid, one-sided aid, and move it into bilateral investments for common benefit.
It certainly.
Yeah, common benefit. We don't have a common benefit, you freaking evil Satan. You.
For threatening to kill me, Josh Hammer, Laura Loomer, and others, because he bought into these lies that there was this pressure campaign applied to Charlie. And this is something that's been repeated. Tucker is saying that this is a fact that he knows for a fact. He told Carrie, how do you say her name? Carrie Prigine.
I dare not try.
Okay.
Oh, I dare not say her name. It's like Voldemort. The one who shall not be named, Carrie Prigine Bowler. You can't say it. Tucker. You want to know how Tucker knows? Charlie flew directly from the Hamptons to Tucker's house for the filming of that episode last summer. Charlie told Tucker himself. That's Tucker's source. It's Charlie. Charlie is the source from that information who told Tucker that that's exactly what the Hamptons was. Now listen to Seth lie.
Yeah.
She was recently just on his show, and they talked about me and the Hamptons thing, and he said,
was she at the Hamptons?
She was not.
Okay.
Oh, you had to be there. You had to be there. I haven't been there.
What he had said was that Seth is one of the thugs who was bullying Charlie Kirk about his, Israel positions about whether or not I should be allowed on stage at AmFest or whatever. And she was like, that for a fact? And he said, yes, I do. Well, based on what?
Charlie?
Based on what? What did I say that in any context publicly that could be characterized that way?
Did
I
Tucker
certainly
know
didn't say
about
it
something you said privately?
to Charlie?
Yeah.
No, I never
Charlie told Tucker. Tucker does know. You know it too, you freaking liar.
spoke to Charlie about any of this stuff privately. I mean, the Hamptons event was not private. You can call it private in the sense that it wasn't done on the internet, but it wasn't private like it was me and Charlie in a room like this, having a conversation without cameras rolling, where we're just speaking our thoughts.
So there was cameras rolling. It just wasn't being live streamed. No one said it was private, that it was just you and him, but it was private, like the public wasn't allowed in, and the public hasn't been allowed to see or know what really happened there. The only way we found out is by Charlie telling Tucker.
Only conversation that you had directly with Charlie Kirk about these issues, the conversations you had in the Hamptons?
I commented on one of his posts on X. He posted something about how Tucker was going to be at AmFest, and I commented on that publicly and said, I don't think Tucker's message should be amplified at AmFest. I think it should be repudiated from the AmFest stage.
Wait, so Charlie is a free speech absolutist. Charlie also is able to be friends and at least acquaintances with people he disagrees with. He also won't stop being friends with someone just because people tell him to, or because he might disagree on a certain thing. All right. And I lost the last part. I had to do. Dang it. I hate it.
You guys are free to host whoever you want, just to be clear.
Oh, that's what it was. Free speech absolutist. Charlie told Tucker to go max at AmFest. He gave him his blessing to do what he did. Charlie would never not have someone on because other people are telling him to, or saying that his thoughts and ideas and words don't deserve to be said. You pressured him at the Hamptons like others. And then you commented on a tweet of Charlie's about Tucker talking at AmFest, and you believe that Tucker should be silenced, and we're telling Charlie that very thing.
But in my opinion, Tucker's message is bad for America. It's a demoralizing message. This was right on the heels of him talking about how he thinks feudalism is better than the system that we have now.
The message in this context is Israel. That's the thing that Seth doesn't want Tucker talking about.
So I offered a couple of reasons for it, but I said, in my opinion, I don't think Tucker's message should be amplified from the Turning Point stage.
Oh,
I was giving Charlie feedback in that, and I was doing it very publicly. This wasn't, behind the scenes thing. That is what Tucker is trying to construe as me applying pressure or bullying or acting like a thug. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if that makes me a thug, if that makes me a bully because I dared to disagree with Charlie about something. First of all, I think I have the right as a free-thinking, free-speaking American to just say what I think to whoever I want, right?
Then why doesn't that apply to Tucker Carlson? Why doesn't that apply to Charlie, that he can allow Tucker to do that very thing, to express what he thinks and what he feels openly and honestly? But you think that should be silenced. Yeah, you did it privately and then you did it publicly.
I can disagree with people on the left or the right about what they're doing or why they're doing it. If that makes me a thug and a bully, then what does it make Tucker? Tucker disparages people that he disagrees with all the time. He's someone who said that, Christian Zionists are the worst people that he knows.
Christian Zionists are the worst people we know, except for those in the little hats.
He says
he's apologized for that.
He has apologized for that, but it is something that he said.
Oh, well, yeah, he did it, but it is something that he said.
But he denigrates people that he disagrees with, including myself. If something were to happen to me, how would we characterize how he's dealt with me, in the days leading up to that? So, it's very different. Charlie and I.
Well, that's actually a very interesting point, though. You're saying to the extent that there was a pressure campaign, or that pressure was being exerted by donors, or that there was public disagreement. First of all, that's not what was happening in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
But you're making another interesting point, which is if the fact that people publicly disagreed or even put pressure on Charlie in the last days of his life somehow makes them, implicated in his death, then why wouldn't the same be true if something were to happen to you today?
Nothing's going to happen to Seth. Nobody cares about Seth. But no, the thing is that all of the people that were pressuring Charlie to not have Tucker or Candace on, it's because they were talking about Israel. It all points back to Israel. It's about these people wanting Charlie to not change course on Israel. And I think that cannot be forgotten, and that needs to be repeated over and over. That is the reason why donors were pulling money. That is the reason why Lori Cardozo-Moore, Seth Dillon, Bill Ackman, and all these people were trying to get Charlie not to have Tucker on, because of what he was saying about Israel. That's the thing. And because we think Israel's involved some way, somehow, then the pressure that you guys were exerting on Charlie in the days and weeks and months leading up to his assassination seemed to be connected, seem to have something to do with one another. And the fact that at that event is also when BB called and offered to take TPUSA to the next level and infuse $180 million into the organization, and he turned him down, all seemed to be connected, and it got intense and more intense and more intense as it led up to September 10th. Yes, it seems like you're implicated in some way, shape, or form. Okay, even if it's BB or donors saying you gotta just go tell him not to, that doesn't mean that Seth knew that they were going to assassinate him, but he unwittingly, unknowingly, maybe participated in the attempts to silence Charlie and silence Tucker before the ultimate decision would be made to take him out. Yes.
Right. And why wouldn't the same be true of things that Charlie did himself? You know, Charlie knew what he believed in, had strong convictions.
But you wanted him to shut up.
Stood up for what was right, and he advocated for it. He would disagree with people, even people more powerful and influential than him. President Trump, for example, you know, he would go to the White House and he would say, here's what I think should be done. And he would share his opinion, and sometimes disagreeing with President Trump's policy.
He knows exactly what he's talking about. Iran and the war.
Including foreign policy.
And Israel.
So, you know, any effort to, if we were to characterize any effort to express ourselves about what we think is the right thing to do and what we think is the wrong thing to do as bullying and thug behavior, you know, we would all be condemned by that standard. Because
no, but when it's accompanied by people threatening to withdraw money, withdraw support, withdraw their donor, their donations, yes, that's a threat because it comes with another action. Don't do this or else. If you do this or else, then this. That's how it becomes a threat. And then all of you little henchmen that are echoing that same sentiment, don't have Tucker on. It means that you either knowingly participated in that process or unknowingly, but you still participated in that process.
All of us care about what we believe in and speak out about it.
And
so
you love Israel.
but this is, I'm being targeted very specifically with that characterization for particular reasons.
You're
you know,
evil.
it's an inconsistent application of a standard that if you applied it to them, you know, they would be considered thugs and bullies too. And so it's wrong. What it ends up doing is it ends up putting someone like me in the crosshairs, where now I'm facing.
Oh, the poor widow Seth Dillon, you're a victim. Oh, you want people to feel bad for you? You're just a real victim there. You're the victim. Poor Seth Dillon.
Death threats, and people are upset at me. Charlie is someone that was near and dear to a lot of our hearts. He wasn't just, you know, he was a friend of ours.
Not you.
Personally. Most people didn't know him on a personal level, but they still loved him. They cared about him. And so if they come to believe,
but you knew him and didn't love him. You knew him and don't care about him.
Believe that I was involved in blackmailing him and literally bullying him and saying, you better do what I want or else there will be a consequence for you. Because that's what bullying or coercion would actually.
Okay, that's literally what you said happened, though. You literally just admitted earlier that Bill Ackman and other donors, and Charlie even said it. You said Charlie said it himself, that was happening. Charlie did admit it with Megyn Kelly.
Entail, right? If they believe that that's how I was treating him, then of course they're gonna hate me. They're going to think of me as being an awful and wicked person
that you are
mistreated a good man who was well intentioned for my own political reasons. Now, why would they want to characterize me that way? Why would they want me to face harsh hatred from the majority of people in America who love Charlie Kirk. You know, it's pretty messed up to do that, especially when you know the truth. Tucker in this case.
Oh,
because he told Carrie, I know this for a fact.
Because Charlie told him that. That's how he knows it for a fact. How stupid are you? Every time Tucker and Candace make a claim, they're not stupid. They're talking about it because they know. Let me get to this, Vasiliki. Right here, last year, Candace Owens talked in depth on these issues. We have her on record prior to the assassination. Yep. And Charlie and Meghan did too. Yep. Just in the week before.
Tucker asked me about this personally, privately. He wanted my accounting of things, and I gave it to him, and he's gone forward with the lie anyway. And so that just makes it all that much worse.
Well, that's an interesting piece of this. You, if I'm not mistaken, you were the third guest on Tucker's new show when he started his new network, third or fourth guest. Obviously, you had a close relationship with Charlie. And as you say, it's a small movement at the end of the day. We have both operated media companies in the movement and know, at least casually know just about everyone in it. Could you have imagined 2 years ago the change in these relationships that's taken place, and how has it impacted you kind of on a, I guess, on a personal and professional level to see all these changes?
Man, no, I never would have seen this coming. In fact, if you rewind just a few years, there was a lot of alignment and a lot of allies is the right word. And Tucker.
All right. It looks like a lot of people are tapping out on this. That's a bummer. I don't know if YouTube is not pushing it now that I'm talking about Israel. Let me jump to the next timestamp I have.
To take into consideration, how close are you with the person? You know, are you talking to that person on a regular basis? You know, you and I have a friendship where we talk quite a bit offline.
I bet.
And communicate with each other about things. If you were someone that I knew more at arm's length, who was more of like an acquaintance who I knew in the media world, I would feel less obligated to reach out to you personally about something I disagreed with you about than I may presently. I think the level of relationship that's there factors into that, but also whatever the issue is. I think.
What about the level of criticism?
How harsh the criticism is?
Sure.
Yeah, I think that would also factor into it. Yeah. How hard, and that's a good point. I'm actually glad that you said that, because in my comments to Charlie, I wasn't criticizing him at all. I wasn't saying that Charlie had done anything wrong. I was just giving an opinion that I think that the message that Tucker has for America is bad.
Okay, if Charlie had Tucker on at SAS and you're telling him to not have Tucker on at AmFest, that means Charlie made a decision that you think is wrong, and you don't want him to make that same decision again in the future. That's exactly what it means.
And that if anything, it should be repudiated from the AmFest stage, not amplified. But I wasn't criticizing him for his judgment. I was leaving it open to his judgment. You know,
Sure.
You can make the decision yourself.
All right, and then we'll get to this last one. This is really interesting, right? 43. Dude, we just dropped like 50 people in like 10 seconds. That's nuts. 4320 here.
He felt and valued, that you have to wonder, you know, who's really driving that, who's behind that, what are the philosophical or ideological underpinnings of all of it, and where is it going?
Have you ever taken money from a foreign government?
I have not. Have you?
No, never have. And I would. They've never offered.
I would.
Yeah,
it depends on how much.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not cheap.
Yeah.
I want to make that very clear. I'm not cheap. I am for sale. No, I've never taken money from a foreign government, but it seems to be
I'm not cheap, but I am for sale. Got it. All right. We're gonna, how long is this clip? It's 29 seconds. Okay. Now we're going to look at, we're to that part of the broadcast, you guys. If you haven't done so already, please do me a favor and hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's the best way to help support this channel. And then after the video posts, please go over to the video in the comments and please write a comment for the video. It really helps the algorithm. And then you can hit the hype and hype it for free. Those are the best ways to help support the channel. Also, If you want to support, you can give money here at buymeacoffee.com. It's also linked in the video description or on the links. You just scan the QR code, or you could do it here at Venmo at the Black Line Brief Venmo account. Once again, scan the QR code. If you want to do that, just write a note or a memo as what you would like your donation to go to, and then I make sure that it does. All right. Let's listen to Candace, and then we're going to watch some Charlie Kirk clips.
If Turning Point and those who Charlie left in charge failed to stay true to the principles and purposes on which Charlie founded it, and with which he and Candace originally breathed life into it during its formative years, then Turning Point will end up like MySpace. It will become just one more ineffective and rather dull has-been activity. I believe that God has other plans for Charlie and for his legacy. A cover-up of the truth is not, in my view, part of God's plans. I believe that people of goodwill from all over the world will ensure that. If Turning Point and those who Charlie left in charge failed to stay true to the principles and purposes on which Charlie founded it, and with which he and Candace originally breathed life into it during its formative years, then Turning Point will end up like MySpace.
So who's the one that was there to help breathe life into Turning Point in the formative years? Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, not Erika Kirk. And this is John Mappin, okay? He's been there from like early on.
It will become just one more ineffective and rather dull has-been activity. I believe that God has other plans for Charlie and for his legacy. A cover-up of the truth is not, in my view, part of God's plans. I believe that people...
Oh, it repeated. Okay, my bad. Sorry, I didn't see that it repeated. Let me make this big.
It came out of left field for me and for you, but not for her. When I first, so I hired Candace Owens 4.5 minutes after I met her. I saw passion and vision unlike anything that I've encountered. And from the first couple minutes afterwards, she's like, Charlie, you don't understand. Kanye West is going to come out as a conservative Trump supporter. I was like, I was like, what? I was like, come on. And I'm not very pop culturally literate. She's been doing better there.
More naive. I mean, everyone's more pop culturally literate.
No, you'd be surprised. I was like, wait, is he the one married to Beyonce? And she's like, did I just agree to work for this?
How weird is this? Look at this snake. It's Ben freaking Shapiro.
Guy.
It was so bad.
We're doing a lot better now. But she started to get me listening to his music, all sort of stuff. It's like just pounding it. And she's like, this is going to happen. And so that's the first thing.
Candace Owens, we had her on the show.
Candace is the best.
And her new venture partnered with yours. But you guys used to work together.
Yeah, and we've known each other, boy, it'll be 7 years in November.
Dude, you made it. He's so young that his back in the day is 7 years.
That's right, of course.
Let's go back to Candace. So where did you guys meet? How did the relationship grow? Did you guys bump heads in the beginning, or did you guys like each other?
No, she'll tell you the story exactly the same. I met her at the David Horowitz Freedom Center. David Horowitz is amazing. He's a legend in the conservative movement. And I heard her speak, and I offered her a job. When I met her, I was like, come work for us at Turning Point USA. And she was relatively unknown. She had about 45,000 Twitter followers. She was red pill black at the time at YouTube. And I basically said, if we work together for a couple of years, you're going to be the biggest thing in the conservative movement. Like, I've never seen talent like this. I have a few gifts. One of them is also spotting talent.
I liked watching you and Candace debate. There was this, I wanted to cut it up to show you because I rewinded it and laughed so hard.
Was I wearing the Leias?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that was Hawaii.
Where you're like, and then
yeah, that video, that full video of the Hawaii event, campus event with Charlie and Candace has been scrubbed from the internet. There's 3 videos. They're like 4, 5, and 8 minutes. The 8 minutes is like the 4 and the 5 put together with a minute missing. They completely scrubbed it. It doesn't exist on the internet. They've taken down all content mainly of Candace and Charlie together.
She was like talking and you're like whispering like your ideas too while she's going off. You're like, let me get the mic. I want to talk. And she's like, no, not right now. And you're like, okay, wait. Like, but like, it's like 2 best friends that are like, no, I'll all of you right now, all of you. And it was just so funny to watch. It looked like a Modern Family skit episode. It was really, really fun.
So I met Candace at an event back in November, and Candace, fact check me if I'm wrong, I think I hired you 4.5 minutes after I met you.
I think it was 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
It was very aggressive. He was like, "You sit down, stay here. I'm going to get you a contract. I need you to sign the contract and get it back to me."
All right, sign right here. DocuSign. It's okay. You never heard of it. Just right here.
Just write your name. I just need you to move your finger, and the deal was done. And the rest, as we say, is history in the making.
It's history. And for those of you that follow kind of our path and our journey closely, it's been quite a 7 or 8 months. And Turning Point was on an amazing trajectory at the time. And now it's just gone exponential. And I believe today what I knew back then Candace is unlike any other conservative voice that we've encountered. And because she's confident.
Thank you, guys.
She's articulate. She's charismatic. She's fierce. She's funny. She's direct. And what she has done is she has successfully been able to go between the worlds of culture and politics, something that conservatives are not supposed to do. In fact, am I allowed to say it? I probably shouldn't. When I first met Candace, I was not exactly a pop culture aficionado.
Oh, wait,
okay?
let me tell you.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's
Wait, someone says they have the full Candace clip. No, like the full campus event in Hawaii. I just saw that. Where is it? Matt, this link is the Candace and Charlie in Hawaii. Where? What? Where do you see the link? Someone, where's the link? No. I mean, can you put it in the chat? I don't. Or one of my, yeah, no, the full clip, it's like 2 hours. The campus events were hours long. The only ones that exist are the short, like 3 clips of that event. All right. All right, let me go to the next clip that I have of Charlie. Hold on. Let me share. Wait, if it's singing, hopefully, Beth, if it's playing music, I don't know that I can play it. Yeah, I can't play that. I can't play a clip of other people's music. It's got them singing in the background, but you can still. Hold on. This one might be able to be okay if it doesn't have the actual. Wait, hold on. Is it on there? Okay, it's on there. Hold on. Dang it. Where is it? There we go. Let me back it up.
You don't understand, like, the dignity of him tweeting that. Like,
I'm living in that
Charlie dance.
century. There's something mean to it.
You don't understand, like,
It's so good to see them, together and like having fun. All right, what's this one? Start at 7:30. Okay, hold on. All right, let me share here. 7:30.
Privilege. What a bunch of nonsense. If you want to be, seriously, I mean, privilege. Everyone has some element of privilege. Some people are smarter.
I have privilege.
Let me finish, okay? I let you do your piece. Privilege. Okay? Sure. Privilege. If you want to succeed.
Oh, it just replayed again. Or wait, it starts at 7:30. I'm confused. All right, you guys. That is the show for tonight. Okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed everything. Thank you guys for another great show. God bless you guys. Love you guys. Hold on. My brother-in-law made a new outro video it'll play as we end. 1 second. What the heck? Okay, hold on. It starts at 7:30. Okay, hold on.
I don't think Charlie's teachers liked him very much. Do you guys?
The feeling was mutual.
Yeah. So this is interesting, right? This is something that I want to explore further, right? So this is, again, an example of how Charlie and I are so impossibly different and have had such different reactions to almost every single thing that's happened since 2008, right? So to get to your question, no, the Department of Education shouldn't be abolished. That's a ridiculous talking point. Should it be streamlined? Can things be more efficient? Always. But so I want to take us back to 2010 when Governor Scott Walker was first elected, right? And you were writing op-eds in your high school paper, right, about how great he was for busting up teachers' unions, right? Your teachers were going to Madison, Wisconsin, right, where I'm from, right? They were busting themselves up to show solidarity with their other.
Wait, what? Oh my gosh, this is not the one that's not what I was trying to do. All right. Thank you guys. Sorry. I'll figure out what that is. I can play that at the next one. It's not where I wanted it to be. Where I thought it was going to play, it's not where it's playing, and I'm not getting the right information. All right, you guys. Sorry about that. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe. It's the best way to help support the channel. I appreciate it. And then, yeah, love you guys. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Stay tuned for tomorrow's show and tell me what you guys think about the outro. God bless. Have a good night.